What's up, Kaiju family? This is Godzilla Chain 1090 and the crew of Monsters of Attitudes coming to your station today with a new retrospective. Today we're going to be talking about Y2Kaiju, everything that is considered Godzilla in the Millennium era. Even though Aaron did make a blasphemous statement earlier, I'm not going to say it now. I'll save it for a little bit later.
Was it in the
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. I can't speak Spanish, so I don't know the rest of the song, but yeah.
Prospero año y felicidad.
There we go. That's why we keep you around, Kim.
Can I hand you this thing? Take it, Kim.
I guess
I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Okay.
Oh my God, Michael.
To save it for tomorrow, Michael.
Yeah, no crap.
So I guess
There's a
get
lady
started,
Christmas
of course.
spirit, or else I would say something.
Oh my God. So of course, to my right, I have Eric from Bearded Kaiju Reviews. How you doing, Eric?
Good. What's cracking on everybody?
And of
Mike
course,
Knuckles.
the man, the
Back.
myth, the legend, one of the triple OGs, Samson West. How you doing tonight, Samson?
Hey, folks, doing well. Welcome in. Excited to exchange opinions and whatnots. I'm sure we're gonna have a show full of them tonight.
Oh yes.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, it's gonna be a show.
Maybe I should have worn my boxing gloves instead of my sombrero.
Of course, right underneath Samson, we have one of the brain children from Kaiju Ramen, Michael Hamilton. How you doing, Michael?
I'm good. About ready. We're going to talk about one of my favorite eras in Godzilla, which is the Millennium era. I don't care what Eric and everyone else who disagrees with me says.
Adrian, could you move? I need to spit at Eric.
And of course, we got Cody's from Cody's Kaiju Customs.
What was that? I thought it was Cody from Cody's Kaiju Customs. And I'm here to talk about Mega Gears and the Black Hole Gun. The best.
My God.
Oh
my God.
See? Yeah?
Oh.
Yeah? It's so good, Eric. It's so
Just because you have no taste, Eric, doesn't mean the rest of us.
God.
Well, it is,
Disgusting me.
I can't wait.
Dude,
That
you might need to go,
about me.
Cody, you might need to go down to your local CVS because tastelessness is a sign of COVID, and you might want to get tested for that.
Coming from the Geigen fanboy, I'll rest my case.
Oh my God!
I'm going to be the bigger person in the mental and bigger sense, and just not.
Right, Joe.
And of course, we got the new kid on the block, Aaron. How you doing tonight, Aaron?
What's up, Adrian? I'm feeling really excited because this is one of my favorite eras, and I know we're all going to be in total agreement here, right?
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Leave, Eric.
I don't understand what's going on right now.
I can already tell that I'm going to be friends with Kim, Cody, Aaron.
We're always going to be buds, no
Y'all
matter
can just
what.
go to hell for everybody else.
And of course, and last but not least, we have our lovely special guest, Kim. From
Hello,
Kaiju.
hello, everyone.
Kim, how you doing tonight, ma'am?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me.
It's the Kaiju Queen. The Kaiju Queen.
And I do have to say, you know, Adrian, you do have a pep in your step tonight, so it's good to see, you know, that you're high spirits and everything. So.
Oh shit!
Is that an inside joke? Maybe I'm just.
Just smile and nod.
Just smile and nod, Samson. It's
Yo.
I'm really good at that. It gets me through a lot of
Good job,
things in
Eric.
life.
Good job, Eric, making it awkward.
Oh, dear.
So of course, we know we do have our retrospective conversations. We're here, and more often than not, we're here to argue. Either we're gonna talk good about the films, we're gonna talk bad about the era. One way or another, we'll get all opinions out because that's what we do here. And of course, for the very first question, and Eric is already ready to have some controversy start when the show starts already.
I can't
Good
wait.
Lord, here.
What is your overall thoughts on the Millennial era?
It was
Mr.
his
Aries.
favorite.
Hours later.
Okay.
How much did you love it?
I'm not. I'll try to play nice. I really will.
All right, I'm gonna put a on the timer and go.
So, as you can already see, this is one of my least favorite, or the least favorite era for me personally. It is my own opinion. That's all that matters. Everybody has their own opinion. It's all
You're
about
allowed to
them.
have a wrong opinion. Go
Yeah.
But does it still even matter, though? That's the question.
It does.
Does it?
Yeah. So I like I said, I am not a huge fan of this era. It is the least watched one for me. All these movies don't do anything for me at all. They don't leave a lasting impression. They don't. Just nothing. Just there's not enough to me for me to rewatch these films at all. Like these are the ones that I can just go a long time without watching, and I'm okay with it. There is one in particular that I could probably watch the most out of this, and I'll save that for later, so I won't spoil it and everything. But
I wonder what could it be? Wow.
I'm telling Kitagawa.
I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. To me, this era just seems like it just kind of goes everywhere. And I understand there was a lot of different directors and stuff like that, but it just didn't seem like there was a lot of vision wise for where they wanted to do with this. Particularly, I mean, obviously 2000, they kind of came out with wanting to put a movie to get Godzilla fans happy or excited for Godzilla again, just because of what the 98 did to them and stuff like that. I get that. I was excited for it when it first came out. It was my first Godzilla movie I've seen in theater, so it kind of does mean a little bit to me. But like overall, as a movie, it's not the greatest. And then just as it went on, it was just too kind of all over the place. It really was, and I didn't like it. I would have liked to see what they would have done for possibly a third movie for the Mechagodzilla kind of trilogy that could have turned into it. But that's, we'll never know. Then we got Final Wars, which is
a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And everything. So yeah, not
a golden gem.
Oh no. So yeah, it is not high on my list at all. None of these movies really are. So it's just how I feel.
Then why are you here? No, I'm joking.
You could have just sat out of this episode, Eric. Come on.
No,
we need a PowerPoint.
Because I don't want an episode where it's just everybody agreeing with it. That's lame.
What's wrong with that? We could all have a good time. Eric wouldn't be here dragging our chill down.
No.
Dude.
We can't do that.
Oh, my buzz, man.
Kill my buzz, bro.
Bro.
Oh god.
Like, well, I can respect that. Semi.
Well, what are your thoughts, Mr. West?
Oh, I'm next. You're not next since you're in between. You're over there. All right. Yeah, I can honestly say it's not actually. No, I can't say it's my least one. Millennium or Heisei is my least. So Millennium is all over the place. It is all over the place in the sense that there's no continuity between the films except for the two Mechagodzilla ones. So that's very odd. It's as if like they just got several different directors, just like all in the beginning of the 2000s. They're like, all right, everybody come up with your own Godzilla ideas, and then we'll come up with movies year after year after year, and it'll be fun. It was an odd era for sure. It does have some fun films in the mix, but it does have a lot of my least ranked films overall. Like if I were to go from Showa through Millennium, then yeah, a lot of them will be in the bottom like 15 or so. One of them is in the top 5 of my all-time list, which again, Eric, you said the same thing I was going to say. Godzilla 2000 came out in theaters and is the first film that I saw as a kid growing up in the 90s in an actual movie theater. And that was a cherished moment I'll hold on to. But after that, the films were just kind of, they were very random. They're my least watched, except for a certain group behind you. So me and you kind of have the same opinion, honestly, but I just am not as brutal about it. because I don't diss the king and my beautiful man. I love him so much.
I'm not dissing the king.
So I agree, because there's a lot of jumbled mess with the Millennium films, but at the same time, there's a lot of memorable scenes and fights and characters and whatnot throughout that little era that I enjoy. Could it have been done better? Sure, but there's no telling. It didn't. I mean, whatever. It happened the way it happened, and we just have to live with it no matter what.
Yeah, I agree.
My turn.
Sure, go ahead.
Sure,
let loose.
Have your crappy opinion.
Well, I mean, I'm really shocked that you and Eric that don't like the Millennium era, because you say it's a mixed bag, but so was the Showa era was a mixed bag as well.
Yes, but that's the golden era.
So the Millennium era is a lot like the Showa era, where there's just a lot of different things going on. And like you, Samson, Godzilla 2000 is one of my favorite movies. I got to see that movie in theaters all by my lonesome, because my little $1 theater was playing it, and I got to have my own private showing. Godzilla 2000 was my very first Japanese Godzilla film that I got to see in theaters. So I am very attached to that one. I will agree and will concede with you two that it is a little bit of a mixed bag, but I don't hate the era as much as Eric does. Because
I already said it. Heisei is a more hated one for me. So
I mean, I just feel like I just feel like the Heisei era was all one note, and you had a lot more variety with the Millennium era of films. Now, granted, the one thing I don't like about the Millennium era is it was an era of reboots. But I think when they did do the reboots, they did them well. Like GMK, for example. And Leslie, if you're still listening, I don't really hate GMK. I'm just busting your balls, man.
Sure.
It's fun to do.
Trying to get on people's good sides. Yeah, whatever.
It is. No, I'm just trying to suck up to Leslie right now.
Yeah.
He's supposed to have
it's normal
later.
It's
normal. I know. It's fine. It's fine. It's what I do. You know me, Eric.
Yeah.
I forgot to note this. What I thought. Or wait, is this going to be one of our questions we do later? I'll just say it now. GMK. What I like that they did. They actually, that was the first film to acknowledge and have continuity with the 1998 film, where they mentioned how they were in the attack in New York, which was interesting. That was a way to, I don't know if it was a way to rub it in America's face, like, all right, so you guys did that,
I think so. Yeah.
Well, it was basically the implication would have been, the Americans thought it was Godzilla, but it wasn't really Godzilla. It was not our Godzilla. It was.
They said the monster attack in New York.
Right, exactly. And GMK is a great film because I think the reason why a lot of fans gravitate towards GMK is because it kind of goes back to the roots of the character, where that Godzilla is the manifestation of the lost souls during World War II, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So I can see why a lot of people love GMK. I love GMK. I had to grow into loving GMK over the years, but now I'm a big fan of GMK. I appreciate that. But overall, I think the Millennium era is fine. It's a good time. Final Wars, I've warmed up to Final Wars over the years. It's a good drinking game for sure.
Wait, what do you do for every time blah happens? Take a shot? What?
Yeah, every time Godzilla kills a monster, you take a shot.
Oh God, that's.
And some of those are just back to back. I mean, there's not even a pause. Like it's just bam, bam.
It's not fair. He gets to kill Gigan twice. It's like, oh damn.
I'm with you, Samson. I think that the Heisei era is just it has good continuity, but it's just boring. Whereas the Millennium series, they're hit or miss, but they're still at least interesting. They're still a lot of fun. Megaguirus being one of them. I know Megaguirus gets a lot of crap. I don't know why, but that movie's a lot of fun.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get it. I'm trying not to, because we have a lot of questions that we could just keep going about, and I'm trying not to answer each question in one solid go. So,
we'll get into it. Cody,
I love the Millennium era. While it does go Heisei, Showa, Millennium, it doesn't mean much because like every movie is so fun, and every movie has a little bit of difference to it. The suit designs are all great. Godzilla 2000 especially. Like, still, that's such a top tier suit with such a fierce look. I love that they brought him back with that look. That was such a good introduction to the series. Like, this is the Godzilla we're going to be getting. And then GMK was a little different, but he doesn't like that suit.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, would you rather have taken the suit that they gave us, or the one that was like the promo from the poster and stuff?
I would have taken the promo for $99 and then gone to the produced 2000 suit for Mega Gearus. Yeah,
gotcha.
Because I love that, dude. I thought that was one of the sweetest Gigantics, even though it was real small from X Plus. That's such a sweet design. I do love it. The Gigantic, the promo shot.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, all these movies are super fun. I love the Kiryu twofer. Like, that's such a great. I love what they did with Kiryu. Mechagodzilla is always going to be a hit, and the fact that they brought him back with Godzilla bones and made him a cyborg this time, that's always cool. Mega Gearus is awesome. I don't care what anyone says. I love the black hole gun. That is one of the coolest concepts that has ever came out of these movies, and I will die on that hill. They shoot a black hole at Godzilla, and he tanks it. I mean, come on, dude. That is so absurd.
They literally shoot a black hole and they still can't hit them.
Yeah, and dude,
what? We're supposed to take everything in. Give me a break.
Who goes into a Godzilla movie like, this is going to be a serious watch. This is going to be
the most realistic film I've ever
fun. It's fun. And then Final Wars is just a mash of awesomeness. Tom Bryan here breaking necks.
Oh, dude.
Godzilla karate moving, soccer kicking shit. It's just so fun. You can't beat it. I truly love it. While Heisei and Showa, I watched more as I got older and became more of a fan. I did grow up on the Millennium series. Like, I grew up on Godzilla 2000 and the Kiryu movies. Like, that's all I watched until I found 62 and Hedorah and everything else. So I'll always love the Millennium series, and it's always going to have a soft spot in my heart.
So that's how you got into the fandom? Really? That's the Millennium film?
Pretty much, yeah. Because when Godzilla 2000 came out in theaters, I was 4. So that was like my first memories of going to the movies with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
God, so I was like, "Oh, this is Godzilla!" Like, I love dinosaurs, and I was like, "Oh, big dinosaur."
I'm that much older than you, Cody. Damn.
Yeah, no crap.
I'm 26.
Me also. I mean,
holy.
Oh, I thought you were older than me. That's wild.
No, Cody's the baby.
Who's the
You're younger than me. Wait, how old are you?
Who, me?
Yeah, Eric.
Yeah, you said you're younger than me.
No, I thought I was younger. I'm 29.
Oh, so you might be the baby. Wait, Kim. I'm sorry. This is off topic as albeit, but
no,
I don't know.
No, Kim's older. Kim's older than Cody.
I'm such a baby. Oh my God.
You are a little baby.
I'm usually the youngest.
Wow.
But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I love
Godzilla. So aside, Millennium films. Yeah, fun. Okay.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. Well, before I answer, I want to say about the black hole thing. My favorite thing about that is they don't just shoot a black hole at Godzilla. If you remember, Godzilla shoots back at it before it hits him. So the fact that he does that is just amazing.
That is pretty top tier right there.
Yeah, he's
and then in Final Wars, I don't mean to interrupt you. He does it again with an asteroid. He's like, "Guess what? I'll do it again."
I was about to mention that. That's one of my favorite moments ever. Dude, I'm getting up out of my seat. I was just watching Final Wars.
It's so good.
Oh my goodness. You can already tell what I'm gonna say, but man, my overall thoughts on the Millennium era. One of my favorites. Growing up, it was a toss between Heisei and Millennium for different reasons, because they're totally like the tones of them are like totally opposite. But then I don't know where I am right now, because I say that Heisei and Millennium are my favorites, like tied, like I just flip back and forth. But then my collection is mostly Showa, so I don't know what kind of fan I am.
You're a true fan. You're a true fan, Eric. Or Aaron. Aaron, sorry, you're a true fan, Aaron. Eric is not the true fan because he hates.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
Gave the wrong podcast.
I think it was great. A lot of people don't like that it was an anthology thing, but I thought it was neat. We'll get into this more in the next question, but I thought it was super neat that they showed us a different Godzilla every time, other than the Mechagodzilla movies. Just the fact that they gave the directors free reign to, well, they probably had a lot of input, but they gave them basically free reign to come up with whatever they wanted, especially with GMK and Final Wars, which in that way it was kind of a precursor to the Reiwa era, how right now we're going through a lot of different interpretations of Godzilla, even wilder than the Millennium movies did, and it's making those Godzilla seem even way more standard than ever. Even with
Yeah.
GMK, him being a zombie ghost thing. So I really appreciate that they did that, because we already went through 2 long eras, Heisei and Showa, where Godzilla was where they were defining what Godzilla was, and now we're going through we're going through an era, and already had one with the Millennium, where we were exploring what Godzilla can be, which is especially interesting in the context of '98, where we saw a director take Godzilla so far in the other direction that we know what Godzilla isn't, and the fact that they immediately went into production with another movie to show us, quote unquote, the real Godzilla, even though he was already a pretty drastic departure from what he usually is. His design with the red sharp spikes, the green skin, the longer snout, the more hunched over posture, which well, I'll just stop there because I'm gonna start answering all my questions. But obviously, I have so much to say about it.
It's almost like a return to form, Aaron. Kind of like what you were. That's why I was kind of hearing you say, where in the Heisei era, Godzilla is treated more so as a sympathetic animal than a monster. He's still a monster, but I feel like it's more. The Millennium era is full of films that are more like a return to form for Godzilla, back to the roots of Godzilla. As opposed to the Heisei era, where he's just sort of a sympathetic creature. And you kind of see that through line with Miki Sagusa and the rest. And the Millennium era is a little bit more mixed than that.
Yeah, especially because I don't think there's a single movie in the Millennium era where Godzilla is fighting for humanity. I mean, other than like Final Wars, he's fighting because he just fights. Yeah, he's not fighting for him. As soon as all the monsters are out of the picture, he fires on the Gotengo like right away. So,
well, even in 2000, he's really not. He's not defending Earth. He's not defending Earth from Orga. He's defending himself from Orga, and it just so happens that Earth benefits.
It's a territorial thing for sure.
As he kills Orga, he goes right back to leveling the stuff.
That entire where he just levels the city.
Just gone.
Anyway,
yeah, I love it. I love the era.
Yes, hello, hi. So yeah, I'm basically just repeating what all of you guys said. I do like the Millennium era. I do think it is kind of a mixed bag, but I still enjoy it. Like many of you, I saw Godzilla 2000 in the theater when I was just a wee lass, 9 years old. It's Godzilla 2000. The American cut specifically is my favorite Godzilla movie of all time. Hence why I'm wearing the shirt.
Godzilla!
Oh,
all right, yeah.
Who doesn't love that? Come on, Eric, you couldn't even love this.
I love that.
We can't not love that.
How do you not have a soul, Eric, that you don't love that?
I never said I didn't love that.
You're canceled, Eric. Mechaguirus, I do like the concept of the black hole gun. I thought that was really cool. The rest of the film was kind of could be better, could be worse. GMK.
You don't like Godzilla's body slam? I mean, come on.
I mean, it's no drop kick from Megalon. Come on.
They were both against bugs, though.
It's faster.
GMK took a little while to grow on me. At first I wasn't a fan of his design in that film, but within the context of the story, it makes sense because he's like possessed with the souls of the people from the war. So makes perfect sense, and it grew on me. I like the Kiryu duology. That's cool.
MG3.
MG3. There we go. I'm just gonna call it that from now on because I can't. For the life, I'm studying Japanese, but I can't pronounce Japanese words. Yeah,
I don't like it either. I can't say. I don't like the name. It's like I don't know what is a cute.
It's a dragon. It's a metal dragon. I think
it's Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, machine dragon.
Machine dragon. There we go. That's the one. And Final Wars is just delightfully crazy. It was my second favorite film at one point. I think it's more like it's still in the top 10, but it's not my second favorite now. I don't know what would be my second. That changes all the time, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Final Wars.
Nothing's wrong with that. That's no problem.
It's a action packed fun time for everybody. So yes.
I do have a quick question, Adrian, if you'll let me, just really quickly. You can only pick from the Millennium era of films. So you have a brand new person who's never seen a Godzilla movie, but you can only show them a Millennium film. Which one do you show them?
Yes.
Who you ask? Are you asking all of us?
I'm asking all of you. Yeah, whoever wants to
just
answer.
shouting
I'm not going to go in order.
2000.
GMK.
Look at him.
Just so it can be like this.
Yeah,
is
I'd have to go
He is
GMK
raw
too.
power. It's a
GMK.
good showcase
Because
of what
there is a
Godzilla
little
really
bit
is.
of backstory to the three monsters, I guess. You know, it's a different take on the monsters as guardian monsters, but like
That's a good point.
gives a little bit of a backstory to them. Then it explains why Godzilla is
Is
the
the
way
way
he is
he
in that
is.
one and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd go with GMK.
I feel like I won't go with 2000 because to me it's like the perfect Godzilla movie. Like you got Godzilla attacking the city at the beginning, and then you got the silly characters every once in a while, and then the evil category, and then you got the alien invasion. Because what do we see a whole lot in the Showa era? Alien invasion.
That's
So
true.
it's the perfect
That's true.
Godzilla movie to me. So I would show that like this is what Godzilla's about.
I'll have to land on that as well because it's one of my top 5 designs. Like out of my top 5 favorite suits, the 2000 it's number 5, and it's such a fun film. It's a unique design. The dub is amazing. It threw me off guard because I knew nothing about it. Because let's see, 1990 or 2000, I should say, when it came out in America, I was 9 years old. I knew nothing about just except for what I saw on TV, the trailers for it. And it just threw me off when there was an actual monster at the end. I was just like, I was amped up that whole time. I was like, oh, this is different. I love the monster fights, but I'm accepting the fact that it's just a flying stuff. Whoa, what is that? And then he fights Org at the end. And I was like, oh my God, it is great again. He's actually fighting. Okay, never mind. It's great. And so I do like 2000 a lot. But I can see why GMK would be a popular choice since you get to have the revamp of many monsters that the Showa fans grew up and loved. You have just Mothra, Baragon, and Ghidorah. Very unique. Well, actually, Mothra and Ghidorah aren't that unique, but Baragon, that was like the first time we've seen him since 1968, so that was neat to see him back in action. And it is very Showa-esque with the whole like mystical aspect of it where Godzilla's a tortured soul, and it's very reminiscent of the torture of Japan and the fallout of everything that happened back in the 40s. So that's a neat aspect, but 2000 is more fun. I like 2000 more.
I feel like the barrier to entry is lower with 2000 and Megaguirus. If I'm going to show somebody, if I'm probably going to introduce somebody using the Millennium era, I'm going to go most likely with Godzilla 2000. But if they're the type of person that doesn't mind a little silliness, Megaguirus is still a good choice because with GMK, you have the built-in problem of them not knowing who Ghidorah, Baragon, Mothra are. So there's that because I just feel like GMK leaves a lot of questions to unanswered than say Godzilla 2000 or Megaguirus. Go ahead, Eric.
Well, that's what I was explaining. Like, basically, in that film, their origin was that they were guardian monsters. So, really, if you are a new fan, you don't need to know their other backstories. They gave you the backstory in that film. So, really, you're just like, oh, okay, they're guardian monsters. And later on, if you become a fan and you actually go back to them, then you're like, holy crap, they're actually not guardian monsters. They're King Ghidorah's rampage, monster or space, okay, except for Mothra maybe, but the other two, okay. But yeah, it kind of already has its own story in there, so it can be an intro for new fans.
That's true. It's very standalone, just because it's so different.
Very standalone.
Else.
They all are. Technically, well, semi.
Going off that though, could you also would O2 be a good entry for like a new person who doesn't know anything about Godzilla? Godzilla, I guess, Mechagodzilla.
That's the last
Ex
Godzilla movie I showed. Someone new that came over and never watched a Godzilla film, and they loved it. Like they're like, oh, his Godzilla, he's so expressive in this one. I was like, yeah, I was like, believe me, back in the day, he would like open his eyes really big, and like that's about it. Now it's like there's so much like facial movement and everything. It's really nice.
But
You got a Japanese.
Would you want to do that because they explain the Godzilla bones and the previous Godzilla? But if you don't know that stuff, like, are you going to be?
Are we getting into other questions about what we're talking about? I'm trying to be careful
I like
about
where
this.
this conversation's going. Let's keep going with this.
But I feel like that's enough.
In my
context.
mindset, I'm still feeding them information too. I'm not just like saying nothing. Like, all right, figure it all out yourself.
Oh yeah, like you talk.
But
yeah,
it's
yeah, I would do
easy
the
for
same,
them
yeah.
to be like, oh, I can visualize. Oh, I can see it.
But then doesn't it raise more questions for them? Like, oh,
Yeah,
why
I
is
feel
there
like it
Godzilla
loses
bones
some
there?
impact if you
Yeah.
start with that one.
Yeah,
because
That's
he
true,
killed
but
him.
then a lot of kids will watch that without. I mean, they'll know Godzilla, but they won't really know Godzilla. And then they'll watch that and be like, "Oh yeah, there was an old Godzilla," and let's get to the monster fight with the big robot. And
But
that's all.
then the Michael's question though, we have to always factor in how old is the artist we're showing this Godzilla movie to.
That's true.
That's
You could
true.
show like kids, grandparents who are.
It won't matter because they won't have any knowledge or know-how of like previous films, so it's not like really going to make much of an impact on them. But if somebody has seen previous films and you're like, oh, check out, did you know these 2000 films exist? Oh, cool. Well, which of those would be a good choice? Because you're right. Several of them do touch on the like back in the 50s. Like they actually like it's
Megaguirus does.
direct
Megaguirus
sequel of
does,
54. So is the Against Mechagodzilla and Tokyo SOS because they mentioned like all the stuff that happened back in the 50s and 60s with Godzilla, the Gargantuas, Mothra.
Yep.
So it's interesting. God, the more we talk about it, the more it's like, trying to love and hate certain things. It's kind of like, there's some wiggle room
Well, the
there.
reason I asked that question is because the Millennium era is such a mixed bag. I feel like there's a little bit of stuff there for everybody. So
Right.
it is hard to pick like what you would introduce a new fan to, as opposed to the Heisei era where everything is a little bit in the same sort of continuity. The
They
Heisei
all
era
are.
follows the same through line.
Yeah.
So the Heisei era is not a good entry point for a brand spanking new fan. Showa era is a little bit different, but you have no offense to the Showa era, but I feel like you have to have kind of a taste for that very 1960s, 70s type tokusatsu.
Definitely.
So the Millennium era, being much like the Showa era, is a good mix of both.
Yeah.
modern day
Yeah.
CGI and technology and whatnot mixed with like the feeling of a Showa film, like kind of like the theme, like it has a Showa feel, but more modern day.
Right.
Because some people kind of give
Exactly.
older films garbage, like this movie's so old and stupid, which I hate people like that to death. But
I wanted to touch on that exact thing in the next question.
Yeah, we
we'll
definitely are. But I guess.
It's your turn, dude.
Go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're the question.
Oh, you didn't go. Damn.
Your own question.
Oh, Adrian's in charge. I forgot about that.
So,
Is he?
my thoughts on the Millennium era kind of mirrors Michael, Cody's, Kim's, and Aaron's. It's not my absolute favorite. It's definitely not the worst. That I'll leave that to the Monsterverse. They can have that title. But yeah, I don't give a stuff for that. I don't care.
And I thought we were going to be friends, sir.
No wonder you haven't been joining me for movie night.
But when it comes to the Millennium era, for me, I mean, I saw this guy when I was 9 years old. Like seeing this Godzilla after the '98 debacle was absolutely stunning. And the way I got introduced to this movie is my dad came home one day. He's like, "Hey son, the another Godzilla movie's coming out. Where's going to be a Godzilla clone? You want to go see it?" I was like, "Yeah, I want to go see it." And no, we didn't quite get a Godzilla clone, but still, like that really seeing that as a kid, Godzilla 2006 in my heart. It's not in my top 10, but I do love the film a lot. And everything else in the Millennium era it does have a little bit something in the Millennium era is special to me. Kaiju is awesome. GMK is an awesome design. Megaguirus is just a fun show like movie to me. Even as ridiculous as the black hole gun is absolutely an outstanding thing that they try to do. Same with the Absolute Zero cannon. There's just so much that they did in the Millennium era that was so different from the other two eras. Is why it really sticks out to me and why it's special, because we did get so many different things, as well as a mixed bag of different films in terms of the films and everything. which I guess leads to my next question, which I guess we'll start with Kim for this one. Why is there so much divide in the millennial era? You either love it or you hate it. There's not really in between. Why is that?
I feel like, I mean, again, going back to the Millennium era being a mixed bag, I mean, all the films are so different. Like, they all have like the same overall tone, except for maybe Final Wars. But you know, everything kind of reboots for every movie, and then it's just like might get a little confusing. And then, like I said, the tone is a little different for like Final Wars. So it's like I don't know. It's yeah. Very comprehensive answer there for you.
Yeah.
Well, I have a guess, and we've already kind of touched on it. So everyone has a favorite era, and whether we do it consciously, we like to compare other eras that aren't our favorite to our favorite. What we don't like about them, especially. So then you have Showa fans who criticize the Heisei films for being a little too one-note, a little too bland because of its seriousness. You have Heisei fans criticizing the Showa era for its cheesiness, its ugly designs. I love them, but you know, we can't deny a lot of them are pretty cartoony. And then you have the Millennium era, which we've been saying all along is a mix of the Heisei and Showa eras. It feels like a Showa movie with some Heisei sensibilities and filmmaking sprinkled throughout it. And because of that, you'll have Showa. That's one thing. Let me introduce myself by saying you have that going on, and then you have the fact that, at least from what I've seen, you don't see a lot of people starting out with the Millennium films. It's either Heisei or Showa. Cody's actually one of the few people I've seen who says they grew up with the Millennium films. But most people I've seen have said that they started with the Heisei or Showa, and because of that, those eras more often than not get the nostalgia pass that the Millennium era doesn't, and so more people criticize the Millennium films more harshly just because they don't look at them the same way. So with that in mind, because the Millennium era is a mix of both Showa and Heisei, it has both its good qualities and its bad qualities, in my opinion. So then, because it doesn't have the nostalgia pass and you have people looking at it more harshly, both Showa and Heisei fans will look at these films and see more of their negative qualities, which is why it's not really gonna be a lot of people's favorite eras. Even me, who loves the era, I hesitate to call it my favorite too, just because I love. There's so much about the other eras I love so much more, or I think does better, if that makes sense. You'd think that at this point, because the Millennium era is 2 decades old now, that more people would have grown up with it the same way we grew up with like Heisei or Showa. But then what I think is going on is more younger people are actually getting introduced to Godzilla through the MonsterVerse or the Reiwa era. So that those are their nostalgia. Those get their nostalgia passes, not the Millennium series. So the Millennium era then is kind of in this weird like middle ground area where it's not really anyone's favorite. It's not the one most people grew up with first. It's kind of just there. People discover it later, and then they compare those movies to the ones they really love, whether it's like King of the Monsters 2019 or Shin Godzilla or whatever. That's what I think is going on. I haven't done any studies or polls or anything, so.
How dare you?
Well, you bring up a good question. Like, it would be nice to see how these new fans are actually being introduced, because we are being saturated with so much Godzilla content now that this era is being looked over because it's just kind of in a weird time frame, and they're coming back to it, like you said, and maybe it's just not taken to them. And so they just don't like it. They're being introduced to Shin and the MonsterVerse and stuff like that. And then, they might be talking to their parents or whatever. Then they introduce them to the Showa, and then maybe to the Heisei. It's like, this is just a weird era that just, is forgotten.
It's the shortest because it's 6 films.
Yeah.
Millennium or Heisei is 7 and Showa is 15. So it's the shortest out of all the eras. What's funny is all this time I thought it was. Oh wait, it's not my turn yet. So Cody, go ahead.
Yeah. Shut up. So I think Aaron pretty much nailed it. Like, I'm one of the very few people that I even know, besides like Joey Wallace, that grew up with the Millennium era as being like their like go-to movies, and being able to see them in theaters. Like, you guys, obviously, most of us here have seen it in theaters, but I like barely remember going to go see it. I just remember going with my family, you know. So like, these were the films that I grew up on, and I think that generation is just starting to really come up in the Godzilla community, whereas I feel like a lot of like the hardcore older Godzilla fans were like they didn't really care for a lot of the Millennium stuff or the Heisei stuff, honestly. But it seems like the Millennium gets hated on a lot more by like the hardcore like Showa fans, and like I see why. But now you kind of have like the older fans and the newer fans really, you know, button heads kind of. But I will agree with Eric and say like a lot of people are coming in through the MonsterVerse and looking through the old movies and probably starting off with the Showa and Heisei ones. And a lot of people might be like, what are these last couple films? They're kind of got low ratings. I'm not going to even deal with them. And then they go right to Godzilla vs. Kong or something, which when someone comes over, that's usually what I put on is the newest Godzilla vs. Kong. It's flashy. Well, it's on, you know, they're all on HBO Max for the most part, but it's flashy, it's entertaining, constant action. It's like, it's a good film to show a new person.
Yeah, that's a good point that you made when you're saying that they go back to seeing after watching the MonsterVerse, what they'll go back to, because also it depends on what's readily available. Because I was seeing if there was more HD ones online. There's like,
dude, it's hard to find the Millennium
films are streamable unless you buy them or rent them for whatever ridiculous price. So they're not as easily ready available. So after the MonsterVerse, HBO Max has all the Showa. Sure, we'll go for that.
Yep.
Adrian, can you pull the comment from fanciest of cats, please?
Yeah, of course.
So I think this pretty much sums it up because it's exactly because I'm hearing you guys say it, and this is what I'm kind of gonna.
Basically.
That's what I was gonna say too. Is it all comes down to accessibility? Like if you look at what Samson said, you look at I think it was Cody and Samson, HBO Max, Tubi, Amazon Prime, YouTube for some things. I think Destroy All Monsters is free to watch on YouTube, I believe. So, but it's all Showa. Yeah. And I know that there's some weird rights issues going on with the Millennium era films with Sony and now hopefully, fingers crossed, Criterion are going to pick those up in the next couple of years because we've already kind of seen shades of that. But I think it really comes down to accessibility. I remember watching the Showa films on TV. Not that I'm that old, but I remember watching the Showa films on TV because that's what was on. That's what they played during marathons. They didn't play Godzilla 2000. They didn't play Godzilla versus Megaguirus. They played Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla from 1974. They played Terror of Mechagodzilla. They played Destroy All Monsters. We just didn't have access to that stuff growing up, and it was really hard to find the Millennium films growing up. And I think because of that accessibility, fans have looked over it, and I think people have basically skipped over the Millennium era, went straight to the Reiwa and MonsterVerse era, but now they're reevaluating, sort of like what you said, Samson. Now they're reevaluating those older films, and they're comparing and contrasting the two, and they're just not getting on with the Millennium films. And I think I think it also doesn't help that you have one very controversial entry in that Millennium era, which is GMK. Like GMK is a pretty divisive film.
Yeah.
I was only able to watch these movies growing up because I had a cousin who was a pirate. So, you know, these weren't legal DVDs that I was able to go out and buy. Like, this was burned home movies. And that, you know, that's how
Archive.org, baby.
Yeah, I don't think you were able to go out and buy any of these until like recently. They still have all kinds of good stuff. So, saying.
Archive. I've been making a bunch of stuff for my Twitch channel with some video alerts. I've been just ripping it with my phone. Anyway, dude, you nailed it on the head. Accessibility is the biggest issue because I'm looking at the DVDs, even my little pile of Millennium films that I have here. Two of them stand out because they have the exact same little banner, which is the 50th. If I can get the glare off.
50th anniversary.
In the top, because after Final Wars came out in 2004.
Walmart.
I'll be living in famous me.
I just wanted to show this because this is exactly how I felt.
Yep, same.
For the Heisei, like it
Same.
was, they teased you. Then after that, you couldn't find anything for nothing on the rest of the series. It was crazy.
I mean, I picked up Final Wars at Walmart in the $5 bin at Walmart,
right?
Which is so random.
Because I was excited, I picked when it came out for $20. So
well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
me too. Yep.
Yeah,
but it was an accessibility thing. So yeah, I saw Godzilla 2000 in theaters in 2000 at 9 years old, and then I heard nothing about Godzilla up until 2004 when Final Wars came out. So they released this DVD, and then they released Tokyo SOS. They did it in the wrong order. They released them like out of order.
Yeah.
And these other ones, though, they don't have that same 50th banner. So these were just ones you'd have to like come across and find. I didn't learn much about the Millennium films until 2004. GMK, I had no idea it existed until I had like this little hole in the wall video rental store, and the way that I saw it, it was a Japanese only with subtitles copy of the film. And that's the way that I saw GMK. And I was like flabbergasted because I was like, this was amazing. It was really cool and interesting and something I'd never heard of. But at the same time, I was like, well, why isn't it in English? Me. As a child in the early 2000s. So, of course, I was going to complain about it. So accessibility is a big issue for sure. I think another thing that's very divided about is the continuity of it. They don't really have any continuity except for the Mechagodzilla films. Mm-hmm. Other than that, they're all just their own individual film, which is very different than anything we've seen before. Showa films, I'll consider them all to be like continuous with each other because they do kind of follow like a basic, from when Godzilla disappears at the end of one film, it's the resurrection of him in the second one, or the one after it. And they all just like follow each other and they mention each other. Hey, say, duh. And these, I mean, they have continuity with the original films, but other than that, not with each other. Megaguirus is a even more confusing film to me, especially when I saw it, because I was like, hey, that's the same awesome suit from the other, but it's not, they don't have anything to do with each other. So I found that kind of to be kind of odd. And then the other films that follow, they have their own individual suits, or the two Mechagodzilla Kiryu suits are continuity with each other. So that's one thing. I'm a very OCD person, so continuity is kind of a big deal. So that's what I think is very confusing and weird about the Millennium films, is just the continuity aspect of it, and then being just the directors having their free range of will to make the movies however they wanted to, like they obviously did.
Yes.
So accessibility and continuity. Sure, that's my opinion on that.
Yes, quite.
Yes, quite.
Indubitably.
Next.
Who wants to say something terrible next? Go ahead. Eric,
did they play Final Wars in theaters here, or was it like select theaters?
There was a like Hollywood
screening. Mike Ross was a screening somewhere.
There was an LA screening where the suit came to LA. He got his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That was it for Final Wars. Other than that, they didn't really do the other films except for 2000 in America. I mean, Final Wars didn't happen.
I didn't do the rest, but I figured they did some type of release with Final Wars because it was advertised. It was like, this is the end of Godzilla. Like, it's done after this. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I guess for me, what the divide with the Millennium films come from is, I mean, basically what y'all said, the continuity, it being so different at each and every single film. And like Nathan said in the chat, the Showa film's continuity is very, very loose. He said,
not going to be exactly like that. I mean, come on.
And then Hey said, we know how that is, and depending, and again, it also, like I kind of brought up earlier, it depends when you got access to these films. Because I got lucky and they just happened to have a marathon on Sci-Fi with all the Millennium films one day, and I just got lucky and watched them all. But before that, and I think that was in 2005 when they did that, after Final Wars came out. So I honestly just got lucky. But like y'all said, you can't find these films anywhere unless you buy them on DVD, or if you bought them when they first got released on DVD. And with the newer fans, is it something that they don't think of to go back to when they're looking at Godzilla movies? Because especially since the MonsterVerse it does a lot in the MonsterVerse that points towards the Showa era. 9 times out of 10, they're going to go back to the Showa era to kind of figure out, okay, what's Godzilla all about? It's very rare that and even for us as millennial era fans, we're not going to tell someone to go, hey, go back and watch all the millennial films to start your journey with Godzilla. Most is going to say either the Showa era or the Heisei era. So I think that's what kind of divide. The divide is more it's more unknowledgeable, as well as, like y'all said earlier, as well as the continuity of the films not being there at all. I mean, I don't mind it, but when it's something that you're used to all the time, the Millennium films can be a hard pill to swallow, especially if you see them at a certain age.
I wanted to throw in one last story about the 2000, this copy that I have right here, that makes me laugh every time, because I couldn't find it anywhere. My local Blockbuster had it, and I stole it. I put it underneath my jacket, and I walked right the fuck out of my local Blockbuster.
That's hardcore.
At 9 years old, I stole this so that I could have it. And yeah, I've had it ever since I was about 9 or 10 years old because of
Dude, you
that.
better return that.
Well, I guess you're on the right show,
I'll go
because I mean you've been accused of theft now and piracy. So I mean,
I haven't been going.
You're a full blown criminal here.
Nah, it's Samson.
I have never stolen a figure from
Cody, we had it all
G-Fest.
wrong.
He's the guy. Samson's the guy that goes to G-Fest and just loads his bag up with all the bootleg DVDs. And
I'm not actually fat. It's all figures just underneath my shirt that I have at all times. That's all it is.
He buys them all at G-Fest and flips them for a profit. Or, like you said, Eric, or just burns copies and sells them.
No, it's Godzilla Mafia. Come on.
Do what you got to do to make a buck, man. I mean,
But I always,
Times are hard.
pimping yourself out, I guess.
I still remember that to this day, and it's one of my. I feel like kind of guiltily good about it because I'm like, oh yeah, I fucked the system, screw the system. I got me this copy of Godzilla 2000 even when I couldn't.
Yeah.
So,
This
so I should
not
yeah.
gonna make it up on the upload.
I'm sorry, I slept. I'm usually really good about
Godzilla
that.
against Mechagodzilla last month?
No.
Oh, that's right.
No one else went.
They
It didn't happen. It didn't happen in my
here.
area. It didn't happen
Where
in
do
my
you
area.
I wasn't able to
I
go,
live
but
in
from what I've
Detroit,
heard,
and it was like 5 locations.
Not
I wasn't able to go.
down here in the slums of Georgia. Not even. Not
All
a,
right,
hates
well, let
it,
me tell
apparently.
you, that was gold. They played the Godzilla vs. Hedorah short before it, and then they played Godzilla.
did they have
against
permission to do
Mechagodzilla.
that?
Clearly they did.
Yeah, it was,
was
a Fathom
so
event,
good.
so they had
It
permission.
was so good.
did you have
Yeah.
permission to take that DVD?
You're
Yeah.
judgmental here.
Did you,
Sam. It wasn't that.
Nah,
What I love,
$18
especially
for
about-
popcorn.
You know what would have been better is if I actually had the actual Blockbuster cover for this
That was
instead.
hilarious.
Yes.
So what I did was I was real sneaky. I actually because you know how at Blockbuster they would have the real cover on the shelf and they'd have the Blockbuster case behind. I reached in, I stole the disc out of the Blockbuster case, I put it into the actual Godzilla 2000 case, put that sucker down my jacket, and just
I would
Walked on
say,
in.
I would offer a disclaimer and say, kids, don't try this at home. But Blockbuster isn't around anymore, so I guess it doesn't matter.
no. If you are old enough to say,
Maybe that's why he got away with it, because I figured, we're going downhill anyway.
it's been 25 years, we can't catch this kid anymore.
It's like all
And
the
it had-
library books I've never returned.
Yeah, there's a few of those.
What really makes this thing age well is that it still has the trailer because it's the American disc, the trailer for Anaconda on it.
Yeah, it still does.
Anaconda, when you can't breathe, you can't scream.
Oh, that's so good.
Eric, did you get a chance to answer the question yet?
No. So
Does he need to?
I mean, yeah, not really, but I did have a kind of a cool little story. So unlike you guys, I was actually able to see these the year right after each one of them came out, actually at G-Fest each year.
Ooh.
So,
Oh.
each year G-Fest premiered the movie the following year. So if it was 2000, not 2000, but Mechagodzilla, they did it in 2002, and then so on and so on. So actually, I got to see them all just a year after they came out, and then right after that, I actually started buying them on VCDs from Japan, like just so I could have them,
Yeah.
because that was the
Yeah.
only way you could watch them and they actually worked on our players here. They weren't, subbed or anything like that. But that's the only way you can do it. And I didn't care. I was like, I just want to see the movie.
We get the
I want the movie. Yeah.
I mean, but that's what I was gonna say too. That we can move on, but now we have so much access to this stuff. Not in like free media like H or Tubi or anything like that, but now we have a lot of avenues we can buy things from. There are sites on the internet that you can buy DVDs from. You can order them directly from Yahoo Japan or Bai and get the official releases. There's just really no excuse to see them at this point, but I understand why people don't want to go through that trouble and they just want to kind of wait. And there's most of them are still up on Amazon now, unless Sony's taking them down.
Here's something that when we were talking about year after, like the year after, did anybody else grow up with this kind of weird concept? Because of the fact that they were released the year after, Godzilla 2000 was called Godzilla 2000, Mechagoras Godzilla was Godzilla 2001, GMK was 2002. Did that, and then as I grew into an adult, I realized that was wrong. I was like, that's not what they're actually called, and now I call them by their proper years. Like for the longest time, I called the Final Wars Godzilla 2005 in the early 2000s as a kid because that's what it was expensive. It was like that for a long time, and then I realized I was wrong. I was calling them by the wrong year, but that's how I would look them up on eBay and whatnot to try to buy the figures because that's. So for a while there in the early 2000s, they called them like the year after. I guess it's because that's when it entered America, when America got to know about the figures. That's why. But for the longest time, each of the things, like I thought Godzilla 2000 came out in Godzilla 2000, not 1999. I didn't know that until I was like 18 years old. Did anybody else have that same weird concept for a while?
I mean, I still call Godzilla 2000 just because.
I don't call them Godzilla 1999 either. But
if I'm looking for something, if I'm looking for a figure or some kind of looking for Sofubi or something like that, I type in Godzilla 1999 because that's what they're usually labeled as. But I still call them Godzilla 2000, Godzilla 2001, etc. But that's a good point, Samson.
Yeah.
I guess I don't call them. Not like GMK is. I mean, it's GMK Godzilla, Mechagoras Godzilla. Right. But for the others, I call it Godzilla 2002 for Kiryu, the first one, Godzilla 2003 for the Scar Chest one, and then Godzilla Final Wars for 2004.
Yeah.
Cody, quiet down.
Can you check that?
We built this.
Was I right? Was I right?
Yeah.
I thought it was Here I Am. I didn't know what it was.
Rocking like a hurricane.
So sorry. That was just something that like popped into my head. I don't think that was one of the official questions, but that was just a weird concept that I had for a long time in my in the early 2000s that I called them like the year after they actually are. And then as an adult, I realized that was wrong, and I corrected myself on that. But because it was embedded in my head as a child, I still kind of feel like I'm conflicted in doing that, even though I know it's right to call them what they actually are. But I'm like, oh, it's embedded in my brain. Like I was groomed into that as a kid. And now it's I know the opposite. What's wrong with this world?
So we kind of touched on this earlier, but we're going to touch on it again. Do you like all the restarts to Godzilla's origin in this era? Eric, you go first, Mr. Hater, Mr. Millennial Hater.
Excuse me.
How dare you have an opinion? It's
exactly. I am a robot.
God.
You will agree with us or die, Eric.
Where's the Terminator version of Eric? I want to hear what he has to say.
Agree or die.
I liked two of the restarts. Obviously, the first one, Mechagoras, I did not like that at all. The GMK, obviously, I'm a huge fan of that. I just like the unique take on Godzilla and everything like that, and then the little backstory for the guardian monsters, I guess you could call them. And then Godzilla X Mechagoras, probably my favorite restart, I would say, out of all of them. I just like that it has a direct tie to the original. Obviously, we kind of talked about it earlier with the bones and stuff like that from the original.
Wait, Godzilla. You said Mechagoras? You mean Kiryu?
Sorry.
You meant Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, Mechagodzilla. That's what I meant.
You said Mechagodzilla.
Are you sure that's what you meant? Are you sure?
No.
Because you were starting to be like, oh, it's not back to the original.
No.
I think you had it right with
Mechagodzilla,
Megaguirus at the beginning.
2002. So I just like that kind of callback to the original and stuff like that, and it just kind of hit me a little bit more than the rest. Like I said, I still like the GMK thought behind it and everything, but yeah, I like the Mechagodzilla one the most. So, but yeah, Mechaguirus doesn't do anything for me whatsoever.
So,
Such a hater, bro.
As interesting as it was in Megaguirus to kind of, I guess, have homage to the original Godzilla, I must hate to admit I agree with Eric on that one. That one was just kind of to me.
That's nothing. No, yeah.
Dude,
Of
I'm gonna watch
course.
Megaguirus again tonight after this stream. Come on,
Of
guys.
course.
That's the one I did watch.
Wow.
We can bootleg it on my Twitch channel.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't gotten caught yet, so I mean, what? Hey, look, a flying distraction.
Of course, I love what they did with GMK because they didn't really retell the entire story, but they just gave us a little sneak peek into it, I guess. And of course, Godzilla X Mega Godzilla, because we're not going to say the other title. It's Godzilla X Mega Godzilla.
Yeah.
That intro to that callback to Godzilla's origin was obviously amazing because, of course, as you know, Kaiju is Godzilla, and we got the backstory behind the original Godzilla being able to be brought back to life in a sense. So I honestly like that one the most, like same as Eric.
Wait, is the word against like taboo or something? I don't know why it's
blasphemous.
It's so dumb.
It's a really awkward word. Like technically, it works, but it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It's just weird.
What you got, Sam?
All right, Sam.
Wait, I'm sorry. The question this time around. What are we doing again? We're saying.
Did you like all the restarts?
Oh, did I? The
origin in this era.
That's right. It's awkward again because, like I mentioned, the continuity side of things is very like just is my OCD chemical imbalance kind of brain. I'm like, it's so weird that just these films have their own different. It bothers me that they don't have continuity with each other.
Yeah.
Especially Godzilla 2000 and Megaguirus, where I'm like, it's the same suit, but they have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
GMK, I can respect it because it's such a just great artistic film and Showa-esque, and it does kind of come back in a sense. Like it's very like hidden, but it's also it kind of has a like Godzilla's been around for a long time. Him having an origin story from the 50s, but as well coming back with the whole Dead Souls thing. It is strange that they did it so much. I guess to just layman's terms, I'm not the biggest fan that they reboot his origin story several times. No. So just to keep it simple, I'm not really a big fan of that, to be honest.
I like your honesty.
Hey, I may have very like opinions, but at the same time, I can be like, this is instead of pleasing others, I will just be straight and be like, nah, it's not cool. I can't always be a people pleaser.
What was the question again?
The reboot of his origin.
Oh, which one did I like the most?
Well,
no, like do you like that they did that?
All the restarts of Godzilla's origins.
I mean, they're fine. It's fine. It's fine. I like Jim. I like.
You look so disgusted.
I like this part of you, Michael. I like this.
Don't worry, I'm gonna suck it off.
Keep going. Keep going.
I mean, it's fine. I like GMK. I think GMK is a great movie. I like the Kiryu duology, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, because X just sounds weird and sexual. But I mean, those are the two ones that I like that directly reference the origins of Godzilla. I mean, Megaguirus is just fun. Eric is wrong. So
true.
I don't have a problem with it. It's fine. It's fine. Megaguirus is cool.
No cap.
No cap.
Kids would say.
Oh God, do kids say stupid stuff like that?
Yeah.
Megaguirus,
you have no idea.
Dog.
Oh my
So
yeah, it's
oh my God.
I'm already an angry old man. I hate that so much.
No crap.
Go with
I
snappers with their newfangled terms.
need to go sit on
How do you
the
do,
porch with a
fellow
shotgun
kids?
now. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I like the reboots for the most part. I like that every film has its own, like, you know, it has a clean slate to do whatever it wants pretty much. I do really enjoy the Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. The anthology is very cool. I like that whole backstory. And no one's mentioned Final Wars. He's fighting the Gatango.
I was told it's not a reboot, so I didn't have an opinion on it. So
I would say
mean,
it's
it's
a reboot,
technically
but
not.
they freeze him over, and then he fights
just
again.
saying.
50 years later, he just wakes up like, oh wait, oh yeah, let's get back to this. That's so
So
cool.
Final Wars Godzilla is essentially Godzilla from 1955. Is that what I'm supposed to?
No, it's
Yeah.
54.
54.
Yeah, wait. The
54.
Gatango. When did
They don't address it. Actually, they don't address it. I
No,
don't
they
think.
do.
In my
they
mind,
do.
they don't kill Godzilla 54. That is Godzilla still. Like that is. There was no oxygen destroyer, nothing.
right? It's
Yeah,
as if
Unless
there
I'm wrong.
was-
Unless it is
In that-
55.
No, in that
And he never-
continuity, he is the 1954 Godzilla, just like with
Okay.
Mechagodzilla.
That's
Oh, okay.
that's what I thought.
They directly say it at some point. I forget when.
okay.
I mean, I
When
can
did
see
actually-
where a lot of fans would. I can see where a lot of fans would say that was disrespectful, because I know a lot
Yeah.
of.
Oh yeah,
Fans
I
love-
can.
Yeah.
If it's, like I can see where a
Sounded
lot of
so
like
good.
I
hard,
can see that. Yeah.
like
Ah,
a lot of
yeah, bruh.
hardcore Showa guys, like they probably don't care much for parts of the Millennium era because they view it possibly as disrespectful.
Yeah.
How is it disrespectful?
Especially the
though?
older
It's a
fans.
different take.
I mean,
They're
it's,
not-
I don't
they're
know.
not
I
crap-
I
It
don't
doesn't
personally-
defeat the movie.
Well,
I don't
for
personally
the
view it as
Kiryu
disrespectful.
movies,
I'm just saying that it could be disrespect. It
But
could be seen as
No,
disrespectful.
I get that, but like I don't even see how it could be like.
well, Final Wars specifically, right? Not you're not saying like they're all, but Final
No,
Wars specifically
just-
for
yeah,
what they
just
did.
Final Wars, yes.
Yeah, it's
Because-
fine.
There
yeah,
are
the
probably people
Kiryu-
who say that though.
Kiryu, they obviously give homage to Godzilla because he did exist. But Final Wars,
but I
what
feel
they're
like
just like-
Final Wars gets a pass just simply because of how nuts it is.
It does.
That's the whole
it's
point.
the
of
Dragon
movie.
Ball Z of Godzilla
no.
films for some reason.
No, it's not. No, don't say that. Mm-mm. It's not good.
Goji Ball Z.
Evolution.
Oh god.
To the extreme.
Dino Ninja Fury Force.
I mean, Gigan comes out with new chainsaw hands. This isn't even my final form.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's so over the top. It really is. You know what?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's probably going on to the next question, but that's the biggest love letter of the Showa series. I don't care what anyone else says. I know how ridiculous and over the top and different it is, but
It's only
so
because of how many
goofy and
monsters are
easy.
involved.
It
Yeah,
really takes it really comes back full circle to the Showa era. Like
Yeah,
that's goofiness
Yes.
to the
Does
max.
it? Does it really?
It
Yes,
does.
it does.
We'll get to that question in a second, guys.
We'll get into it.
We're almost there.
Aaron, you keep going.
Oh, I'm gonna agree with Cody. I'll go a step further. I absolutely love that they kept restarting it, and I prefer that they did it because we had already gotten 2 eras with super long continuities. So them doing with the Millennium era all the reboots and everything. I liked that they. It's basically an era of a bunch of different eras, if that makes sense. Like it lets the directors do whatever
yeah.
they want. The next movie isn't bound by the whatever the previous movie did, so they were able to do with whatever. Like imagine if Shusuke Kaneko, the director of GMK, was bound, like he had to follow the continuity of Godzilla 2000. We wouldn't have gotten GMK. So I appreciate that happened. We wouldn't have gotten Final Wars, which some people will, probably a lot of people will say that.
Hey, but if
would have loved.
Kaneko was in charge of the Millennium series, we would have gotten the exact level as the Heisei Gamera.
That I would have loved, absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
give me that all day long. I'm sorry.
Well,
Samson,
never-
you be quiet.
I've still never seen it.
Yes, exactly. Bossemus.
Wait, you haven't seen which one?
He hasn't. We're not gonna get into it. We're not going to later on.
What?
Okay,
No,
never
no,
mind.
no, no. We're gonna
Who's
do it
the
later.
real evil
We're gonna do
here?
it
Not
later.
me.
Back up.
I'm not about to know. We're
We
about to
need
do
to
this.
back-
God bless America. Calm down.
All right, who
No,
do I
we-
need to cancel now? What's going on?
Samson.
We're talking about
Samson.
okay,
Way
hang
over
on,
there.
hang on,
That one.
We're throwing this issue at the mercy of Kim. Samson has never seen the Heisei Gamera films.
Canceled.
He's a fake fan.
Oh. Come on. Oh.
Who's next?
Are you not entertained?
That's your next, Tim.
This is a whole new show now. Sorry, God. I'm stealing DVDs. I'm not
mild.
watching.
I'm mild compared to Samson.
Right, you couldn't steal any Gamma DVDs?
Yeah.
They didn't have that at Blockbuster because it wasn't popular back then.
Oh god.
Probably didn't look hard enough.
I was in the GOs instead of GA. Sorry, I looked over here instead of. My bad.
Poor deprived child.
Thank you,
I
baby.
truly am. It's insane. You need to yell at my parents for that. Come on.
Bring him in.
Damn you,
Bring him
Samson's parents.
Curses. You can yell.
sorry.
Damn you all to
Oh.
hell. Okay.
I know the basic idea. I've seen enough clips online.
All right, Aaron, are you
I know
still
who
you still
Legion
going?
Well, I forgot what I was gonna say just because I was. So.
I know, right?
Wow.
You were, oh God,
You
what were we
said
saying?
that if Kaneko was allowed to direct the entire Millennium series,
It'd be like the Gamma
Yeah,
film.
oh,
That's-
yeah, I
Yeah.
would, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where we're
that
left
would
off.
be great just because I know it would be good. Because even so with GMK, supposedly there was a lot of studio interference, and even the
Mhm.
final product, even with all that going on, the final
can
product
tell.
was pretty good. So, if he was the guy behind the whole Millennium era, and he was given free reign to do whatever and set that in its own continuity, no restarts or anything, I would have been fine with that. But as it is now, I like that so many different versions of Godzilla exist, just because it's like it's an era of a bunch of different eras, and I think
Yeah.
that's neat.
What Aaron said.
No, dude, that's such a great way to put it because it's like GMK and Godzilla 2000 feel very show alike, whereas like the Kiru movies feel very like Heisei movies, like very just like big, bulky, big kaiju gonna fight, and then
And the
you
government
know,
has
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
it has its
involvement.
own deal,
Lot-
but
yeah.
you know, it definitely there's kind of a movie for everyone. I feel like someone can find something in it.
Mhm.
I will say the continuity for the Kiryu saga, like it did take a while to grow on me because like I saw it when I was like 12. I don't know, but I was a little. This is really nitpicky, but like, how did they make Mecha Godzilla from the bones of Godzilla when we saw his bones dissolve in the first film? But that's just a complete.
Yeah.
No, that
okay,
got me
okay.
too, Kim.
But did they really?
That got me too.
Okay, I got you.
So it, up until recently, that really kind of bothered me a little bit. But you know, I understand artistic license, whatever. So
Yeah.
kind of sort of let it go a little bit. So, but other than that, yeah, all the other continuities are fine except for Mega Gears. So the end.
The end. Boom.
Ooh.
The best of
Simple.
the series.
Great. Like it.
Okay, so I guess we'll go to the next question.
Oh boy.
Do you see the Millennium era as a love letter to the Showa era? Kim?
Not necessarily all of the films. I feel like definitely Godzilla 2000 is a love letter because you know it has all the elements of a Showa era film in there with you know updated designs and you know all that fun stuff.
Mhm.
As far as the rest of them go, maybe that did we lose somebody?
We
Yeah,
did.
Michael.
Oh, Michael just left for some reason.
Oh,
He should be back.
He's just couldn't handle anyone getting canceled besides him. Anyway, what was I saying?
No, he's last.
What happened?
Okay. Our order got messed up now.
moving on up.
Moving on up.
Never mind.
To the inside.
To the Demon's collection in the sky.
I lost my train of
Okay.
thought now.
It's Kim's
You're saying
turn.
that Godzilla 2000 with all the elements of the and everything.
Uh-huh.
It's a love letter because of the elements.
Oh yeah, and
everything
Final
else.
Wars. Final Wars can be kind of be seen as a love letter to the Showa era as well because of just how wacky it is and like over the top. As far as the other ones go, not so much, honestly, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Well, now we messed up our order. Like Kim's over there, and now Michael's at the end.
Because I'm
So.
amazing. That's why.
Who's next?
Aaron's next.
All right, I'll go next. All right, do I think the Millennium era is a love letter to the Showa era? I think watch the fight with Mega Gears and tell me it's not. That's my answer.
Facts.
Hmm.
Preach.
That body slam.
That's a good point.
Come
That's a good
on.
point right there.
The big so this one was a weird movie for me to watch early on because like it did start off to me when I was a kid. It did start off kind of like serious, and then mostly serious. It's still a Godzilla movie, so it has its cheese, but like it was mostly sort of grounded. And I was just coming off the Heisei movie, so that's what I was expecting. And then you get to the climax, and then I think rewatching it too, I saw this even more clearly. The transition from it just throughout that entire serious tone, and the transition from that to just a whole we're gonna do the Showa style is when Godzilla does that weird. It's focusing on him like it usually does. He's it's a serious close up on him, and then all of a sudden he does this weird whip with his head like that, and then that's when it all they just go crazy, and then I love that. There's no way it's not a love letter to the Showa era. Even the other movies, they all have parts like that.
They pay homages.
Yeah. There's always something about them. There's always at least one thing about them, one major thing that is a big Showa thing, like the fact that Kiryu is a big cyborg robot with a giant skeleton in him. The whole Mothra's backstory being connected to the original film.
Yeah.
Final Wars. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong. Every guest kaiju other than Monster X is a kaiju from the Showa era, and if they were in the Heisei era, they appeared in the Showa era first. Godzilla 2000. That's the whole alien invasion thing. That's totally Showa. So the whole thing, I'd say it's more Showa than it is Heisei, even though earlier I said it's a good mix of both.
I saw that comment for a second. You mean like this Samson suitcase? You guys didn't know I had the rights to that?
I gotta agree with Aaron again because he just knows everything about me. He knows how I think.
He's an intellectual.
But like Megaguirus is like honestly such a good example because like he's zooming around behind him. Godzilla's like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? He shakes it off. He hits him with a body slam. I do love the fact that he doesn't touch Megaguirus until he hits him with a atomic breath and takes him out. But anyway, there's just so many callbacks and it's so cheesy that I really do think it is a love letter. And then as you're saying, then Final Wars, it's so ridiculous. It's so over the top. It's a callback to the Showa era for sure. And I had something else I was going to say. It was really good, and I can't remember it. So whatever Aaron said, copy paste, enter.
Cut, copy.
Michael?
Well, yeah, I was going to say Michael was technically next.
I think one thing that you guys haven't mentioned yet, it is, I think it absolutely is a love letter to the Showa era. Megaguirus is the prime example of that. But one thing, if you notice, Godzilla in all these movies has a personality. 2000, he has a personality. GMK definitely has a personality. He's an asshole in GMK.
Yeah.
The Baragon fight is brutal.
It's terrible.
Oh
it's beautiful and brutal.
It's beautiful.
That woman in the hospital bed, just like he did that.
Oh god, yeah.
He did that on purpose. That was just mean.
I've heard some fans say that GMK is a dark comedy. I don't see it. I don't see it. And
I don't see that either.
I've never.
They're like drowning kittens and dogs.
I can see that.
The hospital.
We're all gonna die, guys. Okay.
Amidst mayhem, despair.
Like we're gonna kill a dog now, like you bastards.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, dude.
Continue, Michael.
They deserve that.
But yeah, I get. I don't agree with it. I think I don't agree with it, but I'm not gonna tell that person they're wrong.
Yet.
But Godzilla has a lot of personality throughout the Millennium era, and it's just campy fun, especially Megaguirus. Eric, I think you're next.
I guess I am actually, but sure.
Oh, sorry, Samson. You're not Eric, but
we have beards. Just mine's not as cool.
You are not Eric.
I have things too. God,
I have things too.
You have things.
you don't have a cool Wisconsin accent. Wisconsin.
Do you love cheese curds, Samson?
I love cheese and milk, so come on, that's
All right.
okay. For the love of all that is holy, let me have an opinion, maybe.
Do you eat poutine?
I don't know what that is, so
That's
no.
Canadian, bro.
We can discuss cheese later.
Yes.
Oh man, I just got back. Oh, I'm hungry again. All right, it's just a copy and paste at this point because we're all pretty much saying the same thing. It has that campy, like certain films have that campiness. There's a lot of homages to the Showa era, especially with Megaguirus. It's such a ridiculous, weird film that's just it's just out of left field compared to Godzilla 2000 and especially GMK. It's like Godzilla 2000. Oh, it's serious but fun and cool. Megaguirus, it's what the okay. GMK, it's serious again. It was so weird. But it pays homage to the Showa era in terms of like, especially like mirror images. Kiryu does like a swing where he swings Godzilla over his entire. That reminds me of when Kong does that from '62 to Godzilla. There's where the Mothra is on the end of his tail, just like '64. Remember in Tokyo SOS, the mirror images, the '64 film.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. I wanted to put it.
I had to put it on there. I'm like, oh my god.
Sorry,
I was gonna go. I hadn't shaved in a while, and I was like, am I gonna go on live with this? And I was thinking, you know what? I'm just gonna shave it. I'm gonna bake it.
I never had
Everyone
a beard
else
to begin
didn't
with,
shave.
but maybe if my
I
hair
was
was
gonna
That's connect too.
I was gonna say, Kim, you shaved your beard beforehand. What's
I had no choice. I mean, it was bothering me.
I guess. I mean, Anyway.
God.
So yeah, it's a copy and paste answer. I don't really have more of an opinion that won't sound exactly like everybody else's at this point, other than it's campy good fun. But there's no but. That's it. I'm gonna be quiet, and Adrian, it's your turn. Go.
So, with the obvious exception of GMK, because that's a different monstrosity in its own, I honestly do think that the Millennium era is a love letter to the Showa era. Watching Godzilla 2000 as a kid, it took me back to when I first watched Godzilla. Honestly, like it really had me. And I saw Godzilla in the Showa era, so it made me feel like I was watching a Showa film again. Megaguirus is nothing but Showa cheesiness, and it's absolutely amazing. I love it. The black hole gun, the normal kaiju that's Megaguirus but still a threat. It's just about everything about that movie is just screams Showa to me, and of course,
A little kid main character.
yeah. Ooh, I forgot about that. Good point, Samson. And then, of course, they make this monstrosity from bones. How's that not Showa era to you?
Who shoots an ice beam?
Oh
And
yeah.
shoots an ice beam, and of course, the ridiculous black hole gun.
The Dimension Tide.
Yes,
forgot the
thank you.
name.
The
Yes,
Dimension
exactly.
Tide.
Jimmy Akin's time.
Such a hard name too, dude. The Dimension Tide Wave.
It does.
Dimension
It is
Tide
a dope name.
Sounds like a Transformer weapon. Oh, I love it.
And I forgot about. They bring back the Maser tanks for the first time since.
Yep, they sure did.
Oh yeah.
Against X Mechagodzilla. They bring back the Maser tanks, so that was the first time we've seen them since what? Did they have Maser tanks in the Millennium or Heisei series or not?
Yes,
Did
I
they?
think they did.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
Well, did they?
Because
Oh, yeah.
Gigan, I mean, I know that for Gigan was last time for sure. But since then, was there really Maser tanks?
I want to say Biolante, but I can't.
Yeah, I don't.
They had the
Biolante,
mini,
yeah.
they had the little
Biolante,
small
for
mini tanks that are kind of like it's not the ones with like the big extended neck that shoot out. They're like the ones that are like actual little tanks.
No, but they still call them Maser tanks.
Yeah, it's still a major tank.
Yeah,
I will say that opening scene in Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, where the guy's picking up trash and he starts seeing everything roll by, and then the Maser rolls by, and he's like, "Oh, all right, something's going down." That is such a cool scene. When I was
That dude,
my god,
that dude's the main character from Godzilla 2000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he the shade.
He's the
that's him.
I love that they always make cameo appearances too.
It's just Toho has a certain number of actors and actresses they like to pay, and they're like, you know what, just come on, man, we'll put you.
Yeah, it's like an Adam Sandler universe. It's just
Exactly. Adam Sandler, you know that group of like Jonah Hill and Michael Cera, that kind of just like different areas. Sorry, Adrian, I totally just stepped on your toes.
No. It's Eric's turn. I'm done.
Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I don't feel as bad now.
So before
God,
this question was asked and everything for this
Moving
show, I never even thought about the Millennium even remotely resembling the Showa in any way, shape, or form.
You're blind.
As somebody that has all those right next to you, come on.
Because there is, to me, there is nothing about this era that like makes it special for me. Not like what the Showa did for me. There's just something about the Showa era that just made it special. Whether it be, you know, always hearing the same kind of composer doing the music for it, that that you're gonna get a good soundtrack, you know, for the movies, or the Godzilla actors or suit actors, you know, for it, or just, you know, you kind of always knew what you're kind of gonna get. And the Millennium series it didn't do that for me. It was, like I said, it was up and down, and I didn't like it. And now you guys talking about, you know, a throwback to Showa. Okay, I can see a little bit with some of your examples. The biggest one I would say would probably be Final Wars, just because of how off the wall it is and crazy. And then obviously they had a lot of the kaiju from the Showa era come back, you know, and put them in this film, you know, for, I don't know why they did, because they didn't do anything for them whatsoever. They just brought them in and just slapped them away, you know, like, I was like, what's the point then, you know, realistically? At least in the Showa, they actually respected the monsters a lot and actually focused on them instead of just throwing them in a movie. And it's like, oh yeah, let's just have Godzilla train wreck them and just not even care about any of them. Like, I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, but really, do you want another Ebera movie though? Like, do you really?
I am offended.
Wrong question, man. See,
out of the 4 films I grew up with, watch your mouth here, son.
Like that.
Yeah, all day long.
Like you don't think it was time for Godzilla to come out? And Godzilla's always been super OP, but you don't think it was time for him to be an absolute serial killer? We've never had an iteration where he just walked around and just nuked and nuked and nuked.
Because basically you got that in GMK.
Exactly.
He ran through all of them like nothing. I mean, I'm sorry.
But they had a lengthy fight for each monster.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he ran through them.
Hang on.
Besides
but we'll get into Final Wars.
GMK is not a serial killer. He's the Marquis de Sade. He is enjoying what he's doing.
Yeah, he is. I agree with that.
He's getting his extra large.
Final Goji is a gym bro hopped up on pre-workout and
600 milligrams.
Yeah, he's Super Saiyan Goji, man.
Everybody like, I'm stronger than you. Let's
right.
I mean, dude, he absolutely didn't skip leg day. Look at him. He kicked the ever-living crap out of Anguirus leg day to the max on that dude.
Oh, dude, that movie is just so epic. They release him from the they release him from the ice in a smoke cloud, and it's just an atomic breath shoots through. How do you not stand up and you're like, yep.
Dude, he wakes up immediately, starts kicking butt.
Well, Eric, I actually want to disagree with you on what you said, that you think that the Final Wars was paid homage the most. I think that Tokyo SOS actually did, because it throws back so many times. The whole Mothra aspect of things, how it throws back to the 61 era. And then when isn't Tokyo SOS when they actually mention specifically, like, the prime ministers, like, what about with the Gargantuas and the first Godzilla and
that was,
Mothra?
That was against
Godzilla. O2, yeah.
That was against. That wasn't SOS.
That was against.
Yeah.
Well, either way, they kind of tie in together. But I think because they're almost one film, really, because of
Yeah.
So,
Millennium
I'm
duology.
not talking about the story wise. I'm talking more of like the kaiju in general, like all.
Like it's just the feel, the theme.
Yeah, like that's.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay,
that's
I
what
gotcha.
they did.
Okay.
They were just like, hey, let's bring back all these
Yeah.
kaiju, because I remember when this movie was being announced, they slowly and methodically would unveil each one
on that website.
Oh yeah,
That would have been so
Oh,
cool.
yeah. Yeah, and I remember it because I'd be checking it every day. Oh, which one is revealed? Which one's coming next? Which one's coming next? You know.
I think Minya was the first one. We were like, yeah, oh.
Final Godzilla, Final Wars Godzilla is Godzilla hopped up on HGH for sure.
Oh yeah,
With no
For sure.
HGH cut.
who needs a manicure? Like,
Right.
like, oh god. But yeah,
I guess you're not really wrong.
other than Final Wars, I would say, all the other ones, it just didn't. I don't see that pull from me from the show, I guess, and you know, all aspects.
I got you. I understand that.
That's fine. We still like you, Eric.
Kind
A
of.
little bit.
Speak for yourself.
Who else is funny?
All right, so
do it,
guess we'll go
Even though
back
you're
to
breaking my
Eric. Even
Oh,
though
me again.
Even though Eric hates this era, I do have to ask him, what is your favorite version of Godzilla in this era, Eric?
Gotta be
Favorite
Final
version,
Wars, right?
And you can't say
Final
GMK.
Wars.
Yes, he can.
Other than
So wait, does this mean like suit or like the overall attitude of the Godzilla
I'm
itself?
assuming suit, right?
Just the suit design
Oh,
or the
that's
Could be
overall
any,
hard.
for any reason, right?
Godzilla as a
Yeah.
character from the film? It's
I'm
both.
gonna say suit. That's what I interpreted.
He just said both. He just said like the theme of the Godzilla
we
or
can do both. I meant suit, but we can do both. Let's make it
Because-
interesting.
Well, another question later on is kind of
Okay, then, yeah, the suit then. The suit.
yeah. Okay.
You're right.
all right, fine.
so-
Make it boring, I guess.
My favorite suit in the Millennium is actually 2002 Godzilla X Mechagodzilla.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I actually really
Yeah,
like that
buddy.
suit. To me, it's like an updated version of the 2000. I
Mhm.
like that they went back to the bone color spikes and everything like that. Still kept them spiky. That's fine, but kind of just updated his face and everything and neck and whatever. Like I love that. And then obviously I have probably the best 2002 version figure form is the Yuji Sakai,
Yep.
which is absolute perfection for that suit. It's absolutely amazing. So, but yeah, I absolutely love that suit. I think it's really cool. And yeah,
So, as much as Godzilla 2000 does hold a very special place in my heart,
Don't you
I'm gonna have
say
to
it.
go with
Don't you
GMK.
say it.
I'm going with GMK.
Oh,
And
he's
the
so
reason
fat.
why I'm going to
Ooh,
GMK is
Yuji
what's up, Michael? What's up?
the reason why I'm going with
What's up?
GMK is
What's
because
up?
I love,
What's up?
absolutely love the evil, pissed off look on this man's face every time he's on screen. I love this Godzilla, and just like him, it took me a minute to get used to it. When I first saw, I was like, why is he so fat? What in God's name is going on? But
He's got a
he has a
beard.
dad bod. He has a dad bod. And just walks around Tokyo as a pissed off dad, just killing everybody. Love the GMK suit. I think that is number 3, my third favorite suit of all time. So I absolutely love GMK.
I will say the only thing I don't think I like about the GMK is just his big feet. It
Yeah,
just
big
to
guy.
me he just looks a little weird with this
Clown shoes?
ginormous feet.
Okay, yeah, I understand that.
That's
I
the
get
only
you
thing I
don't-
don't like about it.
If you don't want that figure anymore, I mean, I'll tell you my address. I'll help you out, bro. If those big feet just hurt you so bad, yeah. I mean, I can see it's paining you to like even look at it.
Is that the
oh,
favorite
God.
sculptor?
Yeah,
That's the
Oh,
Yeah,
FSL,
that's the FLS. It's the rarest of the GMK figures by
And
X
it's the
Plus.
best.
I used to have that one. Yeah, it's the best.
It's better than the Yuji Sakai. Sorry, Adrian.
Yeah.
No, it is.
I totally
it is.
agree.
Out
I
of the
mean,
three-
I agree. It is.
Out of the 3 that I got, that's the one that, or the 3 that I need, I don't have. Yeah, I got the 25 original, the Yuji Sakai, and I don't have that one.
I would trade my Yuji Sakai for that for the FSL
In a heartbeat. In a
I did
heartbeat.
do that before.
Yep.
I would love that.
Agree.
Anyway,
Agree.
But Samson? What's your favorite
Oh, but I was gonna say that just like piggybacking on you a little bit is for both, or well, Eric didn't say it. So, but for you, it's also like the soulless eye aspect. Another reason that you like that suit.
Oh, definitely. Love the soul.
Nobody's mentioned that yet, so I just thought that I'd like kind of be like, oh, what about the nobody said?
No, I'm glad you
eye.
mentioned. I forgot to mention that because
It's super
it
different.
adds to his evil persona.
Mhm.
This white eyes, chef's kiss. I love it.
It is. It's the first time. I mean, that's the only time that's ever happened
Mhm.
in the Godzilla series, except when Shin Godzilla covers up his shield's own eyes to blast the city. Yeah. So I'm gonna change things up. Y'all said different ones. I'm going with Godzilla 2000 all the way because again, I have a lot of nostalgia towards that film, and especially that suit. It's very much. It pays a lot of homage to the 62 suit. I feel in a way it has a very 62-esque reptilian sharp face, the wide neck. I love that excuse me, that was not a word even remotely. Instead of dorsal plates, he has dorsal spikes this time. Dorsal spikes, which it's kind of a weird argument that I always make. It's like Godzilla 2000 doesn't have dorsal plates, he has dorsal spikes. And I think that's just like it's a sharp, like vicious look. And it's the change up, just the small change up of him having like a vibrant, his atomic breath being like just like radiation orange is so insanely more fierce.
I did not like that when I saw that the first time.
I
did not like that.
I think
remind
it's
you
cool.
of fire.
Does it remind you too much of actual fire instead of atomic?
No. Like I like the traditional blue. Like to me, I
well,
grew up.
it's dabba dee dabba die, but okay.
Breath. It's the same thing with Shin's purple crap. I hate it.
That bothers me
is
too.
so dope, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't purple.
I mean, it's okay, but like,
I like purple. Purple's great.
The purple,
purple is
purple
dope.
An underrated color.
I don't know what
Okay.
you're talking about.
All right, Prince, you and your purple rain.
Purple rain, purple rain.
So yeah, I love because the 2000 suit just emits a lot. It reminds me a lot of a 62, or what did I say? 2000 reminds me of the 62 suit, but like beefed up and modernized in such a way that is kind of cool. Everybody loves the 62 suit, and if you don't, you're just wrong.
Truly
And
never
it's
said on this show.
so it's I love the suit, and I love that. Sure, I do appreciate Eric's opinion in that they basically take the 2000 suit and modernize it, or like make it a little bit different and make it more Godzilla-esque with the bone white and the atomic blue for his. But the 2000 is so different from what we've seen, but at the same time so radically cool that it stands out, and I just genuinely like it. It's chef kiss. Wow, it's good.
Yeah, and I completely respect that, Samson, because I think Godzilla 2000 for me is like number 6 on my list. And again, it's like you said, it's because of how different it actually is. It's so different. It's awesome. And I don't know.
So I kind of answered both. I did the whole thing about like why I like the suit and also why I like the character from the film itself in that aspect.
And another thing that's interesting that you brought up is because of course I was working on his review and I said the same thing that you did about the 62. So yeah, this suit
Did it remind you of 62?
Yeah,
huh.
Definitely.
It's definitely the face, like the kind of like just kind of reptilian kind of coming to a finer point.
Like top-down frontal view, sort of.
The X+25 does it the best. And no like slack on what you got there.
Oh, definitely.
What they do with like his yellowy eyes, but how it like fades from the pupil to the yellow, and they kind of have like that like a glassy glow to them and stuff too. It stands out. So see, Kim, you're on board. Thank you.
You stole my answer.
I'm sorry, and I just won't shut up so that I can't give you an option to say anything about you. You don't have an opinion because I'm giving all the opinions about it. Cody, go ahead. Go any further?
Someone mute him.
No,
I'll do it.
It's
never
real hard because all these suits are so good in their own way, except for GMK for the most part. They're so reptilian and so angry and fierce looking. Yeah, I really. I'm not saying I don't like GMK. I'm saying it doesn't look super reptilian and evil. Well, it's about
Except for the soulless eyes and the killing of people in hospital beds and murdering Aragon and just
he doesn't look as animal-like as versus creature-like, if that makes sense. Whereas 2000 and 02 definitely look more, and Godzilla Final Wars definitely. They look almost.
You must not have a dad bod.
We're trying not to. Yeah, 195 currently. Yeah. Thank you.
Congrats. No, not being sarcastic or an ass that. Actually, sincere congrats.
But like Godzilla 2000 just had such a fierce look. This dorsal fins, the dorsal spikes are got to be my favorite part. Giant, stabby, purple. What more do I need? But definitely the favorite is 02. It's such a fierce look. It's such an angry look, especially when he first the second time he fights Mechagodzilla and they both meet in the middle of the city, and you just see his eyes pop and he roars, and it's just when I think of Godzilla, it's usually 62 or 02. Though that's when I think of.
Oh, really?
Okay.
93 sometimes, but usually those two.
That's fair.
I kind of want to dig deeper into that, but that's like a whole separate show. But okay.
I actually like it a lot because I haven't heard a lot of people say that they think 02 when they think Godzilla.
It's always stuck with me since I was a kid as being like the fierce suit, like that. I always thought of it as a very powerful, fierce Godzilla. Like it was, even though he did kind of run and be kind of a pussy a lot of the film.
As soon as the Mechagodzilla went rogue, Godzilla was like,
and the first time they fought, as soon as he hit him with the maser cannons, he's like, dude, I'm out. Like, I don't want to deal with this.
I'm hungover. I ain't got time for this. I'm out, dude.
Yeah, but especially when he pops through the aquarium and all the water fades and he's just standing there. He just looks like such an animal.
I do think he's one of the most expressive Godzillas too. Like when I think of Godzilla,
dude, his eyes pop so hard.
Yeah,
I love it.
Shoot. So my answer for this, I don't want to cop out and say it's a tie. So I'm gonna say my favorite design is GMK, but my favorite Godzilla in terms of his character is Final Wars, just because he's popping off the whole time, doesn't quit until literally the very end. He's a shonen protagonist who has already gotten his end game power up, and he's just here kicking butt. And I love how stupid it is. I love it.
Yeah, dude, he's legendary Super Saiyan Broly, just going on a rampage.
He really, he is the Super Saiyan equivalent of a Goji. Truly, he is.
No, Cody hit that hard money. He's Broly.
He's like, no one's stopping him, no one's touching him. You can get a hit in here or there, but he'll just steamroll you.
Yeah.
He kicks names and takes butt.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. That's all I have to say about it. I just love it.
Oh, my turn? Okay.
His or Kim's because of the order on
Kim can go.
I'll just do mine real quick and then I'll let Kim steal the show here. My heart will always belong to 2000, 99, 2000. It's a beautiful suit. Love the purple dorsal spines. But character-wise, I'm gonna go with I love Final Wars' personality. Like I take no from anybody personality. That's what I love. And the Final Wars suit is really beautiful too because it's the most balanced of all of the suits in the Millennium era. Like there's something I can always point to in all those suits that I don't like. Like I love the suit for 2000 and 2001. I think the proportions are a little weird, but I still love the suit.
He kind of has a stumpy neck. He's almost like
right. The Kiryu Goji. I don't necessarily like the wolf face on that one, but he's okay, and I think he's fatter than 2009 and 99 and 2001. GMK is a badass. GMK is a badass. I get it, but the beer gut bothers me. But I feel like Final Wars is a very, 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 very refined suit. Like it is, the Final Wars suit is gorgeous, and it's the most balanced aesthetically of the whole thing. But my heart, of course, will always belong to 2000. Kim,
you and your high standards, dude.
I got some stuff to say too.
high standards. I mean, now
Jesus Christ.
we all know where you stand. You are just, oh my
The way
god.
Mike said
So,
it, with the suits were defined. I think that's my biggest criticism with the GK suit. It looks like it was almost an unfinished Showa suit that was brought back to life. There's no fine lines on him. He's so round, whether it's his spinal, his fins, his gut, his fingers. He's very menacing, but he just doesn't have that like.
I understand that. I get that.
You kind of.
I got that.
All right, I just wanted to say I actually agree with you, Michael. I actually liked that finally from 84. Okay, they finally slimmed him back down, so he could actually move around, and he was actually kind of agile.
Yeah,
like I like that. I liked that they did that because I like the Heisei. 89 is my bread and butter for Heisei. Then obviously as the film went on, he just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then Millennium started. He was still kind of big and everything. He still had the big thighs and big waist and everything like that. But then Final Wars hit, and I was like, I like that they went slim, like Showa essence. Like I really do. Like I really like that look. I like the slimmer Godzilla. I just like that he was able to do more things. I like the more hand-to-hand combat Godzilla more. The only, I think, nitpick I would say about Final Wars is, like I said before, the nails. The nails were just too much for me. And it just looked like
his werewolf
he was Lady Deathstrike with freaking fingernail. Like I didn't like that because it didn't look like he was able to grab things real easy. I don't know.
Yeah.
It kind of bugged.
Well, and two, the Final War suit. I think the one thing that does bug me about the Final War suit is the dorsal plates are too small.
Yeah,
they're very Showa era like spines.
Yes.
Like they're tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dorsal spines.
I'm going to the gym. That's it. Get rid of my dad bod. I'm going to get Godzilla 2000 Final Wars pod.
But yeah. All right, Kim.
I got to be likable by Eric, so I'm going to get a Final Wars pod. That's all. That's all there's to it, I guess. Now I know where you stand, Eric. Thanks.
Oh god.
Can I speak now?
Yes.
Yes, you can talk. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Yes, Kim.
So just mousy. I'm so sorry.
Such a bully.
I mean, like I said, you did kind of steal my answer, Samson. But yeah,
I shouldn't be here. I'm sorry.
I'm torn between the 2000 suit and the 2002 suit, because like what was said already, it's kind of 2002 is like an updated version of the 2000. But well, come on, guys, look at him. Just look at him. Look at him. I love him so much.
Gorgeous.
And this is going to a future question, but this is my favorite collectible from the Millennium era. Skipping ahead there.
Do you have this bad boy? The 25 centimeter? Oh, you do. It's right behind. Okay, cool. You do have this one. Best.
This is all.
Oh no! Oh, that's the Bandai. I was. This is the X Plus, the 25 centimeter X Plus. Ooh.
Oh, I don't have X Plus because I'm broke. But yeah, I have this one, and I love him very much. He's a very good boy.
Now I know they made two. Is that the Mega Gears version or the actual 2000 version?
That's 2000, I think.
That's the Mega Gears one.
Oh, it is.
The 99 one is a little. His face is a little more down.
But still,
okay.
He's very similar.
He's the only. I mean, I guess what is the real difference between 99 and Mega Gears? Except for him being a lot greener. He's a lot more green.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah.
That's really it, right?
It's literally a palette.
But yeah, like you were saying, he does look like the 62 Godzilla, and the 62 is the first Godzilla I ever laid my eyes on. So, that's my favorite.
Yes.
And like I said, the GMK design took some time to grow on me, but I guess I can appreciate it for what it is. Let's see, yeah. And I also do like the Final War suit. I like how he looks. He has got this reptilian face, and he's like slimmed down, like he's been hitting the gym. and
I love how his
You guys
eyes
have
capture shadow
standards.
too. There's some points in the movie where his eyes are just totally black from the shadow, and
Yeah.
it's
He does have some
menacing in its
super
own way.
brows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I love it.
yeah. All right, but yeah, that was my answer. So just my quick, short answer. Thank you. Good night.
I know, I stole it. I'm sorry.
So going back to you, Kim, because we already know Godzilla is not really a protagonist in this era, so we're leaving him out. Not named Godzilla, who is the best antagonist in the era?
Antagonist?
Yes.
The best
You-
antagonist.
Baragon.
Oh, is it because Godzilla is not really?
Shut up, Michael.
Oh God, I got like super like my heart skipped a beat. I thought you were telling me this. I'm sorry.
I
what have
thought
I
that
done?
I wasn't looking at the screen when he did that. What did Michael just do?
I'm gonna go with Kiryu. Kiryu's my favorite because my favorite part in that movie is when he goes berserk. So just as quick, simple answer because I'm a short, get to the point kind of person.
Kiryu 2002 or 2003?
2002.
Mm.
Yes, quite. Who's next?
I think Michael can now go, right? Is that, you were
Yeah, Michael.
Michael, you can go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is my favorite protagonist?
Antagonist.
Antagonist.
Oh,
Antagonist.
antagonist.
It's not Godzilla.
I mean, there's only one.
I was gonna say, isn't there like only one choice?
There's like it's Kiryu. Like Kiryu's the only choice. No. You have Orga. You have Orga and Mega Gears. I'm so sorry. If it's between the two, but that's not fair. It's Kiryu.
Yeah.
So, I have to answer this for this. Not for non-kaiju antagonist. My favorite is the controller from Final Wars, the younger one. Just because he's just off the wall, totally crazy. Even for
The wimpy kitty baby whiner.
the super dorky guy. Just the fact that when he gets super serious right before his last fight with not Kazuma, the main guy. I forgot his name. The fact that it closes in on him, and then his hair changes just like any shonen antagonist was amazing to me for probably all the wrong reasons, but I still loved it anyway.
Dragon Ball Z. If anybody
His hair gets super spiky. He gets eyeshadow out of nowhere.
Completely out of nowhere.
and then everything his underlings do with their capes, he does like 10 times flappier, and it's the whole twisty thing he does with the flap kick.
Yeah.
Oh my God! That's
it was amazing. And then his force lightning out of nowhere, and then he doesn't use it again. Yeah, he's just great. But then my favorite kaiju antagonist is actually Orga, and it's not even really because of the movie. If anyone's young enough, or maybe if you just like games, you remember the old fighting games. There was Destroy All Monsters,
Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters, and
Save the
Melee,
Earth.
and then Godzilla
Yeah.
Save the Earth. Are you
They had a
kidding me?
big.
I play it on a regular basis.
Sorry, I don't watch your streams enough, but I just
No,
I don't
it's,
have a- I don't have a
all,
Twitch.
dude, I'm not giving you slack for that, man. Don't.
But anyway, those games I used to play so much. Those were like my major.
Don't worry, Michael. I'm coming.
My major exposure to the Millennium films, because at that point I'd only seen, when they came out, I had only seen 2000 and probably against Mechagodzilla. But then playing those games, they put a big emphasis on Orga being like the biggest, baddest dude ever.
Well, he was the last one to unlock.
Yeah, and Save the Earth, he was like the main baddie.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Space Godzilla was the main
him and
baddie in
Space
Save the Earth.
Godzilla, yeah.
Space Godzilla was just Save the Earth. Destroy All
Save the Earth,
Monsters
that's
Melee
right.
was
was
Orga.
both of them, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Yeah,
then he's even
You know,
he's even more powerful in the games than he is in the movie, and I really like that portrayal of him. I don't know. I mean, I feel like he didn't get enough to do in the climax of 2000 to really live up to his. Who am I missing? Oh,
Adrian, the host left.
Okay.
Your opinion was too powerful.
The show is mine.
He'll be right back.
All right.
I'm in the middle. I have control.
I'm the woman. I'm in control.
Oh, I guess.
But yeah, those are my two. That's for that reason, just because I really liked his portrayal in the game, Orga and the controller.
Nice.
I didn't even think about the human aspect of it. Ugh.
There isn't really much though. I mean, other than the.
I guess that
controller,
villain from. You're right.
2000. Well, there's Katagiri. But,
Gotta get it! Oh,
yeah.
Gotta get it. Sorry.
don't ever be
I don't know.
ashamed of saying "Katagiri."
Gotta get it. You gotta do it with the outro.
You gotta reach out to gotta get it.
Gotta get it.
Gotta get it.
And you gotta slowly like.
Like yeah, you gotta ease out of it.
Oh, he's back! Everybody, shut up!
Oh, okay.
Gotta get it.
He heard us the entire time.
All right, I gotta give you all a lesson on how to deliver that line properly. Okay, so first you gotta reach out your hand, right?
Tim, let's all
Well,
have
first you have to be off frame, and you need to come into frame. That's how you're like you're over the cement is like in the way, and then you come over.
You have to do it half-heartedly too, and then just not really care at the end.
He's like, gotta get it. Anyway.
And then he suddenly remembers. Oh wait, I hate. Never mind.
That was weird. Sorry to go off on a little tangent. I promise I'll be quick. But then when Katagiri
We're having fun.
literally tries to murder him by exploding the whole tower.
Oh yeah.
After the end of that, he's just like,
I
hey,
guess I'll have to send flowers.
you're an a-hole. And then nothing happens. He's just like the very next scene. He's like, "Hey, we're best friends again. Let me explain to you what's going on here." He doesn't.
Well, you saw he was like kind of standing off the side, pissed off as all be like.
Yeah, but it was just weird. I was like, it was like no one got arrested, no one got punched. Katagiri punched him later on.
They couldn't
and then
prove
that was-
anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that was.
Oh my
hilarious.
god.
Cody.
So as much as I love Kiru, I have a soft spot for Monster X and Kaiser Ghidorah.
He's
Yes.
Dude, he is just so dope. He comes out of a meteor, floats down like he's like Chung Li or something, and then lays
It's just okay.
like
How
on
is
the most powerful Godzilla we have seen yet. I mean, just fists and elbows, spin kicks. I always love the hand-to-hand aspect when it's a character like Kong, where they can actually beat up on Godzilla, where Godzilla isn't the one overpowering everything. As much as I love Godzilla, I love seeing him like get overpowered, like physically by another kaiju. There's something about him getting thrown around. It's like, oh, like this is a big deal. And then you get turned into Kaiser Ghidorah, which the fight wasn't super awesome. It was,
I almost wish he didn't transform.
But
oh my
the
god,
centaur
people
looks
say that, dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
We'll get into that too later.
I love it. And the blue streaks running through it. Oh, dude, it was gold. Gold.
Running through who? Now what? Wait. Who had the blue streaks?
Kaiser Ghidorah?
Yeah,
in his neck.
Oh, his veins, like his veininess. Yeah, that's right. I was like, I was thinking superpowers.
Blue. Yeah,
no. Yeah, I have a figure over there.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, that's okay. How is that movie not just like the embodied? Does nobody else think that looks like Dragon Ball Z is albeit embedded into that film? I mean,
sure.
Or Monster X flying down. I mean, the Super Saiyan ass human characters fighting each other. Come on,
it's absolutely just battle anime.
Yeah, it's anime for sure.
It's anime and Godzilla, but live action without right.
All right, Samson, what do you got?
Ooh, all right. Well, unfortunately, my opinion still kind of holds to one singular film out of this era, but Orga is gonna hold a soft spot for me because it's such a ridiculous. And Aaron kind of stole the limelight. It's okay. I stole Kim's answer, so it's only appropriate.
I don't have an Orga figure, so you got it.
That this dude is ridiculous in the fact. I still would love to see or YMSF is trying to do it. The where it's trying to have the clone version of him where you have the dorsal plates and stuff. I mean, this guy was a menace. First, it was a flying saucer, and then it turned out to like take Godzilla cells and turn it into an actual monster incarnate, and it actually fought. It wasn't just an alien threat anymore. It's like an actual beast of a menace. What would have happened if Orga actually got his way? If he got to finish being cloned, I would love to have seen how he would have come to fruition with that. Even though,
I was always a little confused about that. So the spaceship is Orga, like his original body, and then the monster is his clone.
No, it's like a shell.
The alien ship is like it's a
It's a transport device for it.
Yeah,
It sucks
yeah.
them
It
up.
doesn't have a
It
form
just
yet.
shoves the
It
DNA.
It has to steal forms. I guess when it goes from planet to because it's been in the Earth for millions of years. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what its original form was.
What Kim just
true,
held
they-
up is what his Orga is supposed to look like.
Oh, I have that
It's
too.
alien
Yeah,
form.
the,
it only changes into Orga because it absorbs Godzilla's DNA and it just runs rampant. It can't.
Well, it has to go in order. So it stole Godzilla's DNA, and it turned into that bubbly jelly thing in the sky. It turned into this, or the thing that she's holding, which is over there as well. I think they actually just call that Millennium. I believe that
The
form
Millennium.
of organ
I
is
think
just
I
called
heard that too.
Millennium, and then it gets hardened due to oxygen. Maybe I'm making up things as I go, and then it turns into
yeah,
Orga
gravity and all that
That's
stuff.
as it slowly, because it acclimates to Godzilla's Earth's gravity and becomes just a beast. But this dude is sick, and you're right. The video games did really make him much cooler, especially for all the early 2000s kids like myself. So this is a beast of a monster, but it's also, I mean, having it in figure form, especially this version, this thing is. You get to see so much more on it than you do in the film itself. I didn't know his tail was this elaborate of a weird looking tail that he's got. It's almost hard. I didn't even know he really had a tail up until figure form of him. I mean, you don't really get to see as much in the film. And just his superpowers that he has to regenerate, and his big giant, his big meaty claws. It just everything about him is just really, it's really cool.
Yeah,
I
he's
dig it
a cool guy.
to the max. He's such a great monster because he's so unique. That's something about the Millennium films that I'm not a big fan of. Is just the rehashing of old monsters we've seen over and over again already.
Yep.
So that's one reason why he's a cool design. He's an original monster, and he's a beast.
So to kind of piggyback off of that, Samson, but at the same time, I'm going to agree with Cody.
No,
Monster X is my favorite antagonist.
He's cool.
Just
I'm not going to disregard that. But.
I know everybody says Gigan's supposed to be metal in that film. No, Monster X is metal.
I don't. As a Gigan fan, I don't.
No one says
Leather
that.
Daddy Gigan. No one needs leather.
I
Daddy
don't.
Gigan.
Yeah, I don't.
Dude, and his chains.
Dude, it's
the
so
chains and the leather and the sexual tension. No, I'm not into that.
BDSM Gigan is here to stay. I don't care what any
No,
of you guys say.
sir, you are wrong.
Not even remotely true. Not just you're okay. I take it.
He's got
everybody take it
chainsaw
to
hands. He's got chainsaw hands. I could use him in the wood shop. That's all I needed to know.
Oh god.
Okay, regular Gigan has a bus on his chest.
Yeah, but he's good.
It's
not slick.
I don't like Mommy Gigan from Godzilla or whatever. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the same.
Oh Jesus!
It's the same stupid design. I hate it.
It is.
Oh, sorry, Adrian. You went off on a Gigan tangent, so we all just kind of lost our mind.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Monster X to me. Monster X is awesome. Like Cody said, Godzilla was rampaging through everybody. And all of a sudden, Monster X comes from the sky and is just beating the brakes off of Godzilla. And like Aaron said, we should have kept Monster X. He shouldn't have turned the Kaiser Ghidorah. That was a waste to me. That was a waste of a transformation. Godzilla should just got his power up, killed Monster X, and called it a day.
Yep.
For all the
Monster X
Ultraman
is my antagonist.
Ultraman fans, what is the monster that he looks most like that I'm thinking of from the original
Giboza.
Ultraman?
Giboza?
No,
Very-
Shibizu, sorry.
The one that looks like Godzilla with the
one that
skeleton,
wants
like
the one that wants to go back into space.
Yeah. The monster.
I've never watched Ultraman, so
Graveyard.
there's another thing you guys can hate me about too.
Hey, I have Ultraman. I'm with you.
It's a strong word. But go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, so
I've owned this for a long time. I just haven't.
Adrian, Cody, I will agree with you guys. That was probably the best villain out of the whole Millennium series, and I hate what they did when they transformed him. It was so stupid.
It was stupid.
I loved. I think my favorite part when you see Monster X is when he floats down and doesn't make a sound.
That's so cool.
Yeah, do the music.
Like
and
it was ridiculous. I was like,
How do I hear
little
boss
burst
music?
of dust that shoots up. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I expected him to like crash down, because obviously you saw the asteroid and everything, and no, it was just like something came at Godzilla, blew a big crater, and then here he is just kind of subtly coming down and just lands. I was like, that's epic. I'm sorry, but that was great. And then Monster X using his beam attack for the first time put Godzilla on his knees.
Oh yeah, that was a great.
Yeah.
He shrieked. He was like, "Oh,
Oh,
He
yeah.
was like, that
He was
hurts."
like, oh crap! Like that was the first time he had been hurt. He was like, oh crap, this is gonna be a fight. So and then obviously I said earlier, I like the hand-to-hand combat type stuff. So obviously they were duking it out and everything. You know, straight up MMA type stuff where Godzilla's mounting him and everything. Like that was gold to me. I will
awesome.
say that is absolutely the best fight I think out of the whole Millennium series for me. So.
You know, I just realized
It's
about
silly,
Monster
but when
X.
he takes him and he picks him
Oh,
up by
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and he-
that like twists his wrists and
It's so
yeah.
sweet though.
It is.
Oh.
I agree.
Monster X is literally the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He's Taserface. Tasers, like lightning bolt tasers, come out of his face.
I've
That's
watched
what
Guardians of
that-
the Galaxy 2 in a long time.
You haven't seen. Oh my
I
god.
would play
I've
cricket
seen it, but
noises
it's been
right
a
now.
while.
Okay, fine. I just told a joke nobody got. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would play cricket noises right now if I could.
I don't have to be here, you know.
I'm
It's
sorry.
just-
I'm sorry. It's just
We know you cried until we let you
swing and
on.
a miss.
That was private.
Oh god.
All right, so next question is since we don't talk about music enough, what is the best / favorite score from this era?
Oh,
Eric?
it's so easy. It's so
GMK.
easy. No.
Oh, we're not talking about one singular soundtrack. We're actually talking about like
This is score.
Look, all I can say is which film has Sum 41 on its soundtrack? Come on, guys.
Right? He's
That is a
right.
good point.
oh, that's some early 2000s stuff right there. That's
Oh
good.
god.
Take it all the way.
That's some AMV goodness right there.
That's some I'm 14 years old and angry music right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that is great. I mean, I won't pick that one because it is American. I'll go with Japanese. But I'm gonna pick. It's kind of a toss up between these two. I'm just gonna do either it's the opening credits for Final Wars and GMK.
Ooh,
Like those
okay.
two opening music is phenomenal. I absolutely adore both of them. So
This is actually kind of hard for me because I mean y'all know how much I love Godzilla music, but I'm actually gonna go with the opening to Godzilla 2000.
Oh
Oh.
yeah.
When I heard that in theaters for the first time, I was instantly sucked in. Just the boom, 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 boom.
The
That shit.
GMK soundtrack is good. The GMK soundtrack is good, but it feels like it's, I know it's different, but it feels like it's all the same song throughout the entire movie.
No, yeah, I feel
They're
that
all,
way too.
you know,
I feel the exact same way.
It's just
That's
one
too
song,
whimsical.
And I
That's
know
fair.
that they're different, and I know that they're absolutely different, and I can't wait for Mondo to release that record.
yeah,
But it just feels
It
like
sounds so
exactly the
similar
same.
to each other.
But-
Tracks sound similar.
yeah.
I'll wait till my turn. I don't want to interrupt.
But I think that's the point. I think they're supposed to feel connected because they're
Yeah.
all the Guardian Beasts,
Okay.
and they're all
I was gonna say that.
connected. So it's supposed to feel connected. So that's on purpose. It doesn't appeal to me. So I'm just gonna get my answer out of the way. The opening to Godzilla 2000
Yes.
will always be great to me. So actually, the music in that film period is good.
It is
Even
incredible. Incredible.
That's such a great movie.
It is.
I wanna
So
watch
the
it now.
the score started in Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, but it definitely fits a lot better in Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. The opening, dun dun dun.
It
dun,
does.
Oh,
dun, dun,
Gotcha.
dun.
Does.
And it with the trumpets and everything, it just feels like that is Kiru's theme. It just fits so perfectly with it. It's almost heroic, as in Kiru's being looked at like this is going to be the savior of Japan. We're finally going to get rid of Godzilla. It's a beautiful score. I have it on my cardio playlist. Like I love it. I can't get enough.
Nice.
And I was really surprised when I watched Megaguirus like years later and was like, "Oh, dude, it's in here too!" Like, it is that good. It is a
Yeah.
It is a Megaguirus?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
It is
it's
indeed,
a
yes.
subtly different, I believe.
Yeah.
It's when she's riding Godzilla after they hit him with the trans.
Oh yep.
All right, Aaron.
Oh, it's my turn.
Oh, the Samson already?
No.
We
Oh,
can wait. We
so
can
it's
wait
not
That's
for
fine. We don't
last.
need them, Aaron.
We can wait for last.
Oh, if you have an answer, then you can go ahead because mine's kind of. It's a tie.
Go ahead, Samson.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Oh my god, that's
It's
so.
so good.
It's. I did a cover of it a long time ago for another Godzilla fans independent film that they did. I did like a keyboard. I did my own keyboard cover and spliced it together with a music editor and whatnot, and it's lost. I don't know where the actual score that I made just by itself, but it's in another Godzilla fans fan film. But I did my own cover of that because he wanted a non-copyright version of it, and he asked me if I could, and I did
Very
it.
nice.
I used to do keyboard stuff, keyboard covers and stuff on YouTube way back when.
I didn't know you played. I didn't know you played an instrument, Samson.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought you'd be a drummer like me. We got that big dumb oaf look to
Dude,
us.
I'm keyboard and drummer.
Thank you.
It's definitely a compliment.
Yeah, that's.
I guess all drummers just have a look to them.
They
We
do.
do. We do.
Well, I'm so glad that I look like a dumbass drummer. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
What can I say? Anyway. Yeah, I used to
Better
be.
than
I haven't had a keyboard in years, but keyboard is something that comes naturally to me because I play by ear. I don't know how to read music.
Dude,
I just
same.
Me
Yep.
too.
That is really cool.
I hear and can just like mimic it on a keyboard.
I'm the same way.
I've never learned.
It takes
to
certain
read.
kind of
totally the
brain,
same
but
way,
it's
too. Like it's like
I
we're
had to learn
all
'cause of class.
quadruplets.
Joe, what's up, man?
All right, music time.
Joe!
So, what's your favorite death metal band?
Oh my
Who
god.
So that is my answer. So I even though I asked, like, are we talking like film scores overall or like specific scores?
No,
I
you
was gonna
answered
ask
that perfectly.
Everybody's saying like their own separate ones, so I thought that's what we're yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
that's what
that
we're doing.
that from Final Wars because I actually have a relationship with that where I spent some time trying to copy it. I listened to it like multiple times and trying to cover each individual part of it, whether it be the percussion portion of it, the certain guitar, the instrumental like strings, and I spent a lot of time with that specific soundtrack. But again, I also have a very strong love for, as you were saying, Adrian, the Godzilla 2000, because that's been my answer this entire stream. Is there's a lot of love for that film in general. I think it all comes into play with many different things. It's the monsters, it's the film score. Many things come into play with love for certain things. But main answer is Final Wars, that specific score. The other one is pretty much the entire score for Godzilla 2000.
Did you like the Blink 182 song? Did you think it?
Well, as a kid, like as a teenager in the early 2000s, of course, because I was angry and that was like death. That was just enough metal and just like rock. It was, I'm angry at 14. That yeah, of course I like that.
Not even still when that scene still hits to
I'm
this
41.
day,
I
hear
listened to that when I was a
drum start,
kid.
I'm like, oh, dude.
Well,
Well, about to get nuked.
Yeah, like that was. It was
so out of left field, but
yeah,
at the same time,
it was like it was.
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
We've never seen that in a Godzilla film before, and it's just like all of a sudden, just bam, we have American rock music in a Godzilla film, which is amazing.
That was
well,
you
it's
know,
because
so,
he was
like-
beating that piece of garbage Godzilla from
Well, yeah.
America, so that's
like,
why they did that.
To me, it brought me back to the Dragon Ball Z movies when they started bringing heavy
Yeah.
metal
Oh my
into the
god.
movies and stuff like that, which
The
is a
Zodiac,
whole different topic.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh
But
my
like
God.
that kind of stuff, like that just amps me up. And when that scene happened, I was like, "Holy crap! Let's go! Let's kick this lizard stupid."
I love it. See, what we mentioned earlier, we were like, GMK mentioned it like, oh, it happened. But Final Wars is like, no, we're going to take that exact same monster and just destroy it.
Oh yeah, yeah, loved it.
Aaron, what's your
I'm
answer?
starting to love Final Wars a little bit more now as we're talking about it.
It's so
Oh,
good.
dude.
It's so fun.
It's so stupid, but it's so fun.
That's my whole thing with Final Wars. It's so stupid, and it's amazing. It's not, but it's also amazing. It's just that it's amazing.
That's
So
why
it's
veteran fans
ironic
hate
with
it
the-
because
wow.
it's too much fun. It's not so serious. It's like this is not to judge any veteran fans out there. I guess I can be considered a veteran fan, but it's pretty stupid.
That's why it's a tie. for my favorite soundtrack overall. My favorite ones in the Millennium era is our Final Wars, and the GMK soundtrack. I feel like musically they're the best out of the whole Millennium era, but for different reasons and because their films are so different. Like you couldn't swap their soundtracks. Like to me,
Oh,
they're
no.
both so easily like equally listenable to or
Yeah.
listenable, but for very different reasons. Final Wars is the whole pump up. Let's just go cause chaos all over the town. Let's just go punch walls and
Yeah.
and
Kick
slam
ass.
mailboxes, whatever, you know. And then GMK is like that thoughtful 3 a.m. You're thinking about what you're doing with your life or whatever. Like the melody is just like,
Oh my god!
like, was I supposed to go hit those mailboxes? What am I doing? And then Final Wars hits again, and you're back to doing it again. So
Well, yeah, it's a
I just- the
testosterone
main
rush
melody-
of just
yeah.
Yeah.
the main melodies of those two soundtracks are my favorite, and they're the ones that get stuck in my head a lot. Almost these days, almost a little. I won't say more than the old Showa melodies, because those are some pretty legendary melodies, but they're so good. I wish we could.
Okay, good.
I wish we could swear on this stream, because I'd be saying so much more just with those.
We kind of have, anyways.
Right.
But I don't want to get worse. So,
To a minimum.
I've been.
they're just that
I've been-
good.
I've been
I can't
fair.
really pick specific tracks from them, but I will say the main melodies of those, the ones that permeate throughout the respective films, are my favorite.
The main scores of each of the individual films are represented very well for each of them. I loved what you just said. What you just said is that you couldn't trade them out. You're right. They're very respectful for each film. It's like they don't really coincide with the
Yeah,
the
that's how
mood.
good
The
they
mood.
are, yeah.
The score matches the mood very well.
Yeah.
We're going with Michael or Kim next.
Michael went already, right? Michael.
I already answered.
Oh, Kim.
Oh, that's right. You interrupted because reasons.
I mean, I blurted out GMK at the beginning, but I do have a soft spot for Godzilla 2000. Again, same answer for every, Godzilla 2000 is just the best. Look at.
I know. I haven't. I'm cradling mine.
Yeah.
It is sad that the MonsterVerse doesn't have a single score that sticks out to me at all, and that classic like orchestra style of like real in-house music to the movie is gone. Like that, like watching the new movies, like they're really good. That is, I mean, I'm sure they do. Like I'm sure Bear McCready did it with his movie and everything, but like I don't know. They're that it's not the same.
That
It's
could be
not.
a whole show by
Oh
itself.
yeah,
God.
like I completely agree. Like Bear McCreary did it a little bit with King of the
Which
Monsters,
is cool, and which is
which
great.
is cool. The best one out of all of them, but yeah, none of those hold anything to even this era. Nothing.
Oh yeah,
No,
Well,
God,
no.
God, no.
I was gonna say
I
one
mean-
that stands out that I like is from the 2014 one where it's just like that trumpet, just kind of like. It's kind of hard to mimic because obviously that was
No,
terrible.
yeah, 2014.
Oh
soundtrack
crap!
is
My light just
underrated.
died. Whoops.
I mean, GVK's soundtrack is a banger.
Oh, don't even get that
Shut
crap
up.
out
Are you
of
kidding
here.
or are you serious?
No,
No,
he's
he's-
not serious.
no, he's not serious.
Okay.
Bullshit.
I was about to say.
You wanna bang it? That's
You know what I actually did? It's one of my few stupid videos on YouTube. I took the final fight scene. Somebody made that final scene, Godzilla and Kong versus Mechagodzilla, and I edited over the Pacific Rim theme, and it fits so perfectly and it's so much more
Wow.
epic over that final
Yeah,
fight.
It's perfect.
That would be-
it's
yeah.
amazing.
And it works so well. I like it so much more. Now, if I watch Godzilla vs. Kong, I'm kind of like, oh,
Aw, that's
Oh, yeah.
disappointing.
this is bad.
That's
now.
sad.
It's legendary picture, so it should be fine. I'm not going to get copyrighted for that, right? It's work. I was doing everybody a favor.
Dude, GVK, I would say, is one of the few movies I've seen where the soundtrack actively brings down the quality of its film, and I like the movie a lot. It's just the soundtrack is just every time it plays, it's
so
just like,
unnecessary.
Yeah.
yeah,
Again, that's gonna be another show.
yeah.
always,
Let's move on to the next
Or
question.
it's just gonna be
Next
the whole
question,
show.
please. Okay, so Mike, I'll start with you since you haven't gone in a minute. What is your
Michael,
favorite?
jeez.
Okay, what's your favorite and what's the best movie in the Millennial era?
Favorite and best?
Favorite
Normally
and
know
best.
my answer.
Wait, that's kind of like
Two
that's
answers.
kind
Yeah.
Is it good?
wait, yeah, is that two answers? Is that
Yeah,
where
because
we have
there's
to
a
say
difference between best and favorite. There's
Yeah,
definitely-
because that means we have to answer personally and then answer logically for
Yep,
each.
exactly.
Oh,
There's no
snap.
logic in this. What
And
do you
I'll give you
mean?
that.
Snap.
There's gonna be a lot of fighting.
That's the point.
Because that means we have to fight with ourselves. We're like, well, this is my personal favorite, but the actual best is. Huh.
My favorite is Godzilla 2000, so we'll just get that out of the way. The one that I think is best written and the most thematically rich is
Just say it.
actually I think no, I think it's I honestly think that it's Godzilla X Mechagodzilla.
Because
You mother.
Ooh.
I think that it's God's. I think thematically, I think Godzilla X Mechagodzilla is thematically better than GMK because it's
because it has a supermodel as the main character.
no nature. It's nature versus technology.
Okay.
God damn it, Michael. Dude, I hate you so much. I thought I had this super deep answer that was like not Cody, and then
Not Cody. That's a new one. Not Cody.
God, I had some thought behind it besides big monster, big cannon, cool. Ah.
Yeah, you can say that too. That's legit.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Go ahead,
That's
Cam.
my answer.
Are you done?
I'm done.
My favorite is definitely Mega Garrus because of how.
Oh, yeah, I thought Cam was supposed to.
And okay.
But yeah, like I said, Michael stole my
I
answer.
was gonna say hers is.
I was gonna say those two things as well. Because I know Godzilla 2000 because nostalgia, and GX Mega Godzilla because awesome story. The end. Now you can go, Eric.
Cody, you can go.
What about Aaron? He was-
It's definitely Mega Garrus because it's so cheesy. I love the black holes, the gun. I love the whole story behind it too. They're like, what if we try something different to get rid of Godzilla? Like, nothing else is working. Like, let's try this. And but no, the best is Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. I love the whole story between it. I love that Godzilla truly is this. He's always been a force of nature, but in this film, he just seems like, I don't know. It's just different. He is the force of nature where they have to bring Godzilla back to get rid of him. That's the only thing that they can do. And it's, and it goes into this whole, are we doing the morally right thing with bringing something back from the dead? Should we be resurrecting something like this? So I love the whole story around it. Easily my favorite. Or easily
Well,
the
it's
best.
why it got reused in GVK with Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla. So that makes a lot of sense.
Adrian, you're so popular
Yeah,
tonight.
Aaron,
Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh, my turn.
It's booty
yeah.
call.
So
Finally.
this is the one answer I think I'm super confident in. Like, I'm not like jumping between like different movies. Where I think the best one, in a lot of different ways, cinematically, thematically, the way it's executed is GMK. Especially because, well, like describing even just the music, which is so well done, it goes really well with its movie. I
All right,
really like the
Are you
major
saying this is
theme.
your favorite, or this is
This is what I think is the
Both.
best.
Oh,
you're going with both?
going both?
Yeah, I'm going with both, but then this
Yeah.
one is what I think is the best, and then I'll do my favorite right after.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was trying to follow the order of things.
Oh no.
Make sure that I was picking up on everything that was being said.
So yeah, GMK I think it's the best because I really like especially its major theme, which is super relevant to today. That later generations act carelessly because they've either forgotten terrible lessons in the past or outright refused to believe those things even occurred. Like not even just with Japan, like what you're seeing in America, with the Holocaust deniers.
Thank
yeah,
you.
just it's people trying to start wars or conflicts or just things like that. Either because they've forgotten how bad those things, when they did happen, things like that, how bad they actually were, or they just don't care. And how they showed that so well with the old man, who I'm not sure is like, he was a ghost. I think they said at the end that he had been dead for 6
He's been
hours.
dead for blah blah
he
blah
was dead.
years.
Yeah, so he's a ghost.
Dead.
He's a ghost.
Well, he's been dead since Godzilla's Revenge, so.
Oh right, yeah. It's
that same old guy.
Like emotionally, I feel like that one hit me the hardest, just because you see that so much, and not just what's going on in the world, but in your own personal life too. People just starting things just because they either don't know or they don't care, rather than trying to get along. I know the whole like it might be a little kiddish or immature to say, hey, we should all just get along, but really that's all it comes down to. We should just treat each other better. That's why I think GMK is the best, because the way it executed its themes, music, cinematography, everything was just super well done, and it has some of the best human characters in the Millennium era. But for almost completely the opposite reason, the one that's my favorite is Final Wars.
Yeah.
Just because I've already said this, and we've already said this. It's so stupid that I can't help it. But I think it's the movie I rewatch the most, just because it's so entertaining. The music's so good, the action's so over the top. You could say it's a bad movie, because to me it's not a movie, it's an experience. So that's what I think. I love it.
It also it in a way it pays the most homage, because we get Akira Takarada is one of the main characters in that. So holy crap, how can you not like it for that reason? That's why a lot of fans love it for that. And oh my god, I should be a veteran and know this, but Namikawa, the actress,
her.
She as well. So 2 veteran Godzilla actors and actresses not reprise, but they play roles in this stupid film. So,
and then you also got the Heisei commander. He cameos in the first Gotengo.
Yeah, he does.
He was also in the
forget Don Fry.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Don Fry.
Well, Don Fry, I remember, because it's just like America. Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says how stupid it was. He was such a good addition to that film. He really, because he didn't care. He just didn't give a damn. But
America, because I talk like this.
It's so funny too, because you'll hear a lot of people be like, "Oh, he's bad at acting. He shouldn't have been in it. He's such a sore stick out." But to me, it's like, yeah, he's like, I don't know. His presence in there is what it elevates it, no matter how bad you think his acting is. Because despite all that,
about the planet Earth, kid.
He was huge in Japan. I mean,
I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he was a wrestler, and he was a MMA fighter over there.
Before I knew anything about him, when I saw Final Wars, and then there's that infamous boxing match where him and that other guy that had like the bleached down hair, they're grabbing each other and they're just like laying into each other, and by like round 2, both their eyes are swelled to all. I didn't know that he was like kind of a big deal before Final Wars.
Like the early days of the UFC and like Japanese MMA, like he was a very big deal. So him being in that film, I feel like in the Japanese eyes, it was like, holy crap, like that's like,
because they had a strong appreciation for him since he did many MMA fights in the.
It would be like The Rock being in a film now, like a Japanese film. It's like, we know this guy, you know. So
I can see that. See, but without even having known that before, I just really like the energy and the. It's weird to say this, but he has a certain kind of passion he brings to his role, because he says a lot of his lines so earnestly, and I just love that about him.
It kind of confuses me when they do stuff like that. Like, does he understand Japanese, or does he just know as soon as this person finishes talking, I have to say this line in English?
It would be hilarious if he didn't actually know what anyone was saying, and he was just
Same with back in '65, like the '60s. Did Nick Adams really know any
Oh, yeah.
Japanese, or did he just like, okay, as soon as this, I start saying my thing? Okay, so piggybacking on everybody, mostly 2000 favorite film, nostalgia wise, suit wise, just everything I've already said. But on a logical level, I'm going to go with GMK because if you ask the masses, 9 times out of 10, they will say what their favorite film is GMK because it's such an artistic and very well done film that it has more cinematic value, I feel, than the other films do, in a sense. Everything about it is just so beautifully done. The characters are likable. The pacing of the film is great, and just cinema wise, if a true cinema, like a cinema critique would like watch all 6 of the Millennium films, I feel like a true critic would say that GMK would be the logical choice as the best out of them because of how well it was done. And yeah, that's how I can answer my own personal answer, like bias wise, Godzilla 2000, but thinking logically, I feel like GMK is the true best out of the. Also, from personal experiences, talking to many different Godzilla fans, I've heard 9 times out of 10 that GMK is their favorite from the Millennium era.
Dude, I hear that all the time. It's like I don't really care for the Millennium series. GMK is pretty good, but the rest.
It's also
right, yeah.
Even I can say this from a personal standpoint too. That growing, I thought it like when I told you guys how I saw it as a younger person, when I was younger, that it was in just a Japanese only disc, and I saw it the subtitles. I was like, this is dumb. But as I grew into adulthood and my brain kind of matured, I was like, this is really cool for many different reasons. Whoa, why are you big now?
What up, Eric?
Fine, I guess. Forget me.
Tell us your opinion, King.
That's it. Yeah, fine. Go ahead, Eric. I don't need to talk anymore.
It wasn't me. It was Adrian.
It wasn't me either.
Before me and Adrian go, Kim has to leave. She has her charity event tomorrow, so she's got a big day. So we're going to say our goodbyes to her and thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we see you back for future shows.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. It's been fun. I guess I'll just plug my charity stream really quick. Tomorrow, we are raising money for Toys for Tots for the children. The stream is at
all the children.
7 p.m. Eastern time. Michael will be there. I hope to see you guys there as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'm very, very tired. My brain is not working, so I'm going to go to bed now.
I have that issue
It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
It was a treat having you, and thanks for being part of this.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kim. Have a great
Bye.
night.
Have fun. Behave while I'm gone, children.
What you mean?
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Toodles.
Bye.
Well, now that the lady's gone, we don't have to be polite anymore. Samson, you son of a...
So what did I do this time? I stole movies.
So Adrian, you can go, and then I'll go.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm done.
Yeah, you're done.
So
well, you interrupted my thing with your big screen, but I guess I'm
I didn't do it. I swear to God.
Adrian.
I don't know what we'll talk about it later. Anyway,
Dozing on the controls over there.
So as far as my favorite film, it's so hard. It really is. But Godzilla 2000 is the one I'll probably go back to the most in the Millennium era. So I'm gonna say Godzilla 2000 is my favorite. As horrible as the English dub is,
hey, it's still
It
gold.
ain't that bad.
Hey, it's a
dude.
mad gold. All right.
It's gold.
It ain't crap
so
through a
at the same
goose.
time,
Like crap for your goose.
it's
Oh
so-
my
it's
God!
gold. It's
Come
so
on,
good
man.
at the
Who
same
doesn't
time.
like that?
I love Godzilla 2000 so much, and that would probably I'll have to say that's my favorite.
Whoa, your background.
That's what you get.
Your background's falling apart, man.
I see that. But
Earthquake.
as far as my favorite film, I'm definitely gonna have to say GMK. Oh the best film is GMK.
I was about to say, but wait.
The best, and for me, everything that the director for GMK brought from Gamma to Godzilla, it made it so much better for me. The storyline was incredible. because for me, a good Godzilla movie has to have good Godzilla action and a good character story, and it gives us both. Godzilla is an evil SOB in the movie. That's absolutely great. I love that. And even though I hate every single other design of monsters in that movie,
Yes.
You do?
I do. I
You
hate
like
King Ghidorah's design. I hate Martha's.
Yes.
No,
I
I hate
That
Martha's
Ghidorah
design.
is fair.
Thank you.
Well, Eric, if you're thumbs
But-
up and give me those damn things, you don't need them. You don't
No,
like
dude.
them.
But
I
Mothra's
will
the
buy
only good
all of
design
those
in that
figures
film.
for $1.
but
Ghidorah looks like a
everything
neutered
else,
puppy.
but everything else in this film and guys and GMK is perfect, almost is perfection. I love GMK, so that would be the best film in this era.
What I was saying earlier
so
when we were
with you
talking
on
about the
that,
old
dude.
man, it took me so long to realize that is the toy maker from Godzilla's Revenge. Uh-oh.
That piece.
Who-
He doesn't
Why
want to
do you
hear your
think-
shit. He doesn't want to hear you.
I'm sorry. I
Are
just
you,
was trying to-
wait. Are you sure that is? Because I don't think that is.
Which old guy? The ghost?
The ghost, the old gentleman
He's the
from.
toy
Because,
maker?
because the toy maker and Revenge was Doctor Who and King Kong Escapes, and that was not the
Yes.
same guy. No, I'm saying that's not the same guy in GMK as in the ghost guy. I don't think they're the same guy.
Yes, they are.
Are they?
Mhm.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
If they are, man,
Google.
he changed
Google it.
drastically.
Yeah, that's.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
Never
he's
mind.
old. He was 1,000 years old.
Talking about in real life.
No, I'm also like.
I thought he passed away before.
That's him. That's totally
no,
him.
he passed away shortly after that movie was made.
Oh,
He was very, very old at that point, but yes, that is the guy. So I'm very good with
Oh.
faces. I may not really know names for stuff, but I can recognize faces at the drop of a dime. It's a superpower of mine. It doesn't really get me in with ladies very well, but yeah, it does exist.
Yeah,
Autism power.
Hideo Amamoto.
I knew I wasn't wrong. I was like, wait, now you're making me second guess myself. Dang, Eric.
No, he was in Godzilla's Revenge, King Kong Escapes.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the same guy.
God, it does
Same guy.
not look like it at all.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
but it's
He
the same
doesn't.
He does.
He looks completely different.
Dude had a hard life, man.
Well, it
Because
makes
he
you
was
feel better.
40
I
years
don't think I'm
older.
this down.
See, I'm not the only one.
Talking about the dead here.
Well, your eyes don't work clearly. Where's your glasses, old man?
Oh
No,
my
I
God.
took them off.
What's your answer,
I'm
Eric?
sorry. Do you actually wear glasses? And I was just being an ass. I'm sorry. I didn't actually mean to keep that. Pick up. You do? Oh, I didn't know that. I never see you with them on, so I'm sorry.
I know,
was
I know.
being mean. I feel like very guilty.
I'm used to
All
it.
these viewers see how terrible you are to Eric every day.
Yeah. So, anyways, my choice is not going to be too far fetched for what I've been saying. It's going to be for both. It's going to be for the best and the favorite.
Hmm.
Mickey
Obviously,
Garrison SOS. We already know, Eric. Come on.
no.
Idol Wars. I agree, dude. Monster X. is so dynamic.
GMK all the way.
I want to hear the
all
reason
the
why
way.
it's your personal favorite and why it's like overall. I want to know the difference between the two because it has
Well,
to be.
He's gonna tell us. Give him a second.
It's I've obviously discussed a lot of it already in the stream and stuff like that. I love the story. I like how they tackled this new restart of Godzilla where they're talking about the dead soldiers, souls, whatever, of World War II and stuff like that, and basically society forgetting about them and what they did for their country. Basically, they were evil souls that wanted to exact revenge on today's society because they literally completely forgot about what they did and what the sacrifices they did to give these people freedom, in their country or just representing their country in a war. And I like that aspect. I like that Godzilla went back to his roots where he was super, super evil, super bad. I mean, the worst of the worst. I did dig the design for him. I liked the white pupils. I think if I remember correctly, when I first seen the first promo shot of him, I was like, dang, that is a mean Godzilla. Like, it was crazy. So I definitely took to it. I agree with you, Adrian. Mothra and Ghidorah's design suck in this movie. I absolutely love this guy. I thought he stole the movie, and I wish he was in
He's
it
amazing.
a lot more.
Female kaiju actor.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about the feet.
I know. I wasn't. I was just like,
I'm
how
not
fun is
doing
that though?
Talking about.
I mean,
the
I
actual kaiju.
acknowledge that as Lady Baragon.
Oh, get out of here! Get out
of here!
I love the behind the scenes shots where you actually get to hear her going "Rawr" in the suit.
Rah!
Now that is easily the worst looking Ghidorah they could have possibly done.
Yeah,
it doesn't help that his wings are really dinky too.
Yeah,
he just looks like a toy.
I hate his feet too. He has chicken feet.
Yeah,
that's what I see, and that's what I mean. It's terrible. And then it takes him 3 levels up just to do anything to Godzilla, which is ridiculous too. Like I hated it. So get rid of those. I would have been fine. I would have loved to actually have the original cast of GMK with
Anguirus and Baragon.
Yeah, Anguirus and Baragon. I would have loved that because I want to see those guys get more spotlight than these guys that you've seen 1,000 times.
Yep.
And it's over and over and over again. I understand they're popular, people like them, but seriously, a lot of people want to see new and updated and just something fresh. I'm sorry.
I think the reason why they did that is that those were all very similar kaiju in a sense. Like they were all 4-legged kaiju, and I think I don't know if that's really
I'm fine with that. Honestly, I'm fine with that. All 3 of them could have ganged up on Godzilla at the same time. I didn't care, honestly. But they chose them because they are popular and they wanted to bring in money. Understandable because it's a business.
I mean, it's the same cast as Godzilla King of Monsters.
Yeah,
Baragon for Rodan. Like, it's the big 3.
Yeah. So, I would have taken that, but whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, overall, the story's really good. The acting's really good. Like Adrian said too, you got to have both. You got to have good characters for the human actors, and you got to have good Godzilla monster battles. You have both in this movie. But yeah, I just think overall, it's the most well-rounded film and solid film out of all of them. I mean, you got all of them are just kind of kooky and way out of there and stuff like that, but this one's just solid, to the core and everything like that. And it's just, it's perfect. So that's my pick.
And it has a really cute main character too.
That's true.
Very true.
Okay. That's true. Next question.
Oh,
what if Final Wars was the end of Godzilla? As we knew it, would you have been okay with Godzilla ending with Final Wars? Eric, you'll go first.
Is this a new question? I don't have this question.
Yeah, that wasn't on my list either.
Yeah, I'm sleepy, Adrian.
Is this one that you didn't want us to know about?
No, I put it on. No, I have it on my
Is that a
list.
Leslie? Is that a Leslie question? Because I have a Leslie question.
I don't have.
Dude, I'm looking on my list.
I mean, it's fine, but like, you'll have to say it again to me.
What's your favorite murder? Yeah.
What
so if Final Wars was the end, like the very last Godzilla movie?
Yep.
So if it was the end, it would have been a good ending movie.
We don't have the MonsterVerse does not exist. Neither does the Ray Raw era. If this was the final Godzilla movie that was in existence, would you be okay with Godzilla ending this?
Oh no, definitely not.
That'd be one hell of a way to go out. I can tell you that.
Oh, that would just be. They would have filmed this and then set the studio afire and didn't give a crap. They would just walked out with the exploding and burning in the background. Like,
you guys don't look at explosions.
No.
Yeah.
If Final Wars was the last movie,
way.
I think that the reputation of Godzilla would plummet. In all honesty.
Yes,
I think so. I think
it's not a good send off.
I think it would justify all those people that say, "Oh, Godzilla movies are just campy guys in rubber suits." Man, that's
all the slack we got growing up. It would have just
exactly.
And I'm glad that we're getting other iterations and stuff like that. That this is not the final one because obviously they thought it was. And they wanted to go out with a bang, but man alive, it was the wrong bang. I'm sorry, but
listen, Final Wars is one of my favorite movies, and I can't believe I'm saying this on this show, but I'm actually agreeing with Eric here. So It
No,
would
I-
have been a terrible end to Godzilla's
Yeah.
legacy.
Yeah.
Well,
It-
it led,
the movie
I
the movie
agree.
is great. I love it.
it led
Not
to
a
the
great
question
mascot
too,
movie.
because was it Final Wars or was it Tokyo SOS? The majority of them have those after credit scenes. Was Final Wars the one where you saw like there was like a cell in a single like that cell in the vat? Or was that Tokyo
That's
SOS?
zero. That's
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 Tokyo SOS.
I actually
Okay.
had a question about that too.
I've been the after credit scenes of the majority of the films are kind of like huh?
That one
Because
was
they don't have continuity with each other, so it's not like we never saw what came with the after credits or came of the after credit scene of any of
Yeah,
these
for sure.
films.
was
Dude,
that
I
supposed to be
don't
like a
even think
sequel?
Now, as far as I'm aware, okay, at G Fest, the director came to G Fest, and obviously asking him questions. As with my understanding, he was gonna do or had in mind a third film.
Okay, that
Like
makes sense.
a Kiryu, like a Kiryu trilogy.
yes, exactly. Now I don't know what everybody said and stuff like that, but yeah, I was there. I heard him say this. He had an idea of what he wanted to do, but they were going to go with a different direction with the very last movie, and they went with somebody else who then obviously they picked Final Wars and stuff like that. Kind of wanted to
Dragon
do
Ball Z, Godzilla.
wanted to do the Destroy All Monsters type thing and stuff like that to end it, whatever. But yeah, as far as I'm aware of, he had an idea and he wanted to end it on a trilogy, but he wasn't able to.
Oh, bummer! At the end, I thought you had like some exclusive stuff to tell us.
No,
Like
no.
this was the idea that he had in mind. I was, oh.
It was something about a clone Godzilla that he kind of wanted to do, as if I remember correctly, because obviously there was the little tube with the frozen Godzilla cell in the compartment and stuff like that, and it says what it is and everything.
Area 51 of Japan.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It was that. So I think it was something along the lines of that with like a clone Godzilla, but I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, what would have been their plans? Is after
Exactly.
they sunk Godzilla, they had him tethered to Mechagodzilla, and just he's gone. That during the end credits, he was clearly going down to that trench.
Yeah.
Were they going to try to if the Mechagodzilla thing didn't pan out, let's clone our own and like train him to be let's fight Godzilla with another guy. I mean, what could they have done?
Maybe
Godzilla
they were
versus
gonna,
Godzilla.
Yeah,
Godzilla
That's
versus
never come to fruition.
literally,
Truly. I mean, that's something we've all
It would
wanted.
have
To see.
I mean,
the idea was for it to be the final film instead of Final Wars. It was going to be Godzilla versus Godzilla, G versus G, which makes G versus
G against G.
G against G or whatever it was, which makes Godzilla versus Gigan the short film that came out this year. It was G versus G. That makes it kind of funny because it's a little bit of an Easter egg because that film was actually supposed to be called G versus G. So that's a little bit of an Easter egg, not
if that was the end, I would have taken that as an end movie.
I was about to ask, would you have rather had?
I would have rather
movie
taken
to round
that.
out the trilogy?
Yeah. I think so. Like that would have been a way better. I mean, obviously, it depends on how they shot it and whatever, But like as a option or just a way they would have went, I would have taken that. I think 100 times over.
That would have been interesting, as albeit, but obviously it didn't happen. I'm sorry, Adrian. Are you next? Since you asked the question, you're next to me, or am I next?
I can answer last. Go ahead.
I think we all kind of simultaneously said the same answer, but no, Final Wars did not need to be the end all of Godzilla. It was for many years until we saw Shin, or I guess the anime movies came. Wait, which ones came first?
2014 first.
Oh, that's duh. Oh my god, I feel so stupid.
Oh, Japanese only. Yeah, 2016.
We're talking Japanese. I mean, does it really matter, Japanese or MonsterVerse? I'm happy with the American films. I love them. I've been going through them weekend by weekend for movie night, and we've gotten so many more fans in recent years. It's just kind of strange. 2005 was not the big send off like they planned it to be, because clearly everybody was like, Godzilla's ending right here, Final Wars, blah. That's why there's the LA premiere. The Godzilla suit's coming to America. He's a Hollywood Walk of Fame star. This is Godzilla's done. It was sad at the time because I remember as a kid, I was like, oh no, what? I'm so much happier that we're getting more. I really am, because they've been great. between animes, American films, and Shin Godzilla, which I still haven't seen from start to finish. But either way, I'm happy that we have more Godzilla in our lives.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like anything new Godzilla, if you like it or you don't, is always a good thing for us as fans.
Especially according to the announcement, whatever next year is going to hold. A year to the day from Godzilla Day that we just had from November 3rd to November 3rd of next year. Oh my God, this is great. That's it. So yeah, answer is no. I would not have been happy if that was the end all for Godzilla with Final Wars. No. I'm glad it isn't.
Yeah.
Cody?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know who would be happy with Final Wars being the last movie. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, like
Who is going to want that? No one.
They tried to make it Destroy All Monsters, but it wasn't. It just wasn't.
Like not having Shin, not having the animated, I like the trilogy. I don't really care for the story. The designs are
I
really
can do
cool.
without Shin, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's enough talking. No monster verse, no anything like that's. I wouldn't like that. Pacific Rim would have had to been like my go-to kaiju movie, and that wouldn't have cut it.
Yeah.
No.
I gotcha.
Still wondering if they're going to do a crossover with that. That'd be great.
I thought they were.
No, they would get shredded so fast.
For real.
They who? The monsters or the
Jaegers?
Jaegers.
They're made out of tinfoil, dude. Missiles take them out.
Well, I guess the monsters did rip them to shreds. Leatherback and
that's what I'm saying, and they bombed those kaiju to death. So
fine, destroy my dreams, God.
So
it'd be cool, but
I guess for
cool,
my
yeah.
answer,
Oh wait, did Aaron and Michael already? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt. Make sure everybody gets their just desserts here. I don't want
because honestly, it's gonna be a clean sweep because I definitely would not have like this data in. Most of y'all know my opinions on Final Wars. Thomas hates me for my opinion on Final Wars, even though I think it's better than Destroy All Monsters. I still hate Final Wars. Honestly, it is a fun. I can watch it. I can watch it.
Wait, hold on. Did I just hear that correctly?
Yes, you did. You did.
Final Wars is better than Destroy.
Oh, I'll take Final Wars over Destroy All Monsters any day.
Oh, any day.
Oh, no.
Come on, man. Any day. Oh, look. The show of fanboys crying about Destroy All Monsters.
All the Millennium boys are whining.
Nick Adams, they have a fight scene at the end.
But
I like Final Wars because I'm a masochist and I just like watching Godzilla beat up on everybody.
Death, destruction, and pain.
But Final Wars, oh my God. Final Wars literally killed Godzilla for 10 years.
I like it.
Because it was so good.
There was actually
people couldn't
snakes
handle it.
involved. Final Wars was just nothing.
He was sleeping.
I will say that out of all the Millennium movies that I own, because okay, let's see, in 2004/5, I was 14 years old. That is probably one of the most because I had the DVD and I would play it on a loop. And I would I'd have my remote and go skip. Okay, here's the compilation of the monster fights. Holy, and I just let that play through. And it's like, okay, human stuff, skip. Oh, good, here he is in the city where he's going to fight Monster X. Okay, cool. So out of all those films,
it's the
I
most
probably watched
fast-forward film for me too. Yeah,
I probably watched the monster sequences from that film more than collectively the other Millennium films together.
Yep.
Just in general. It's fun and campy and stupid, but okay, I'm going back to what I'm saying. I'm just like reiterating. No, I don't want it to be the last film.
Okay.
I want Final Wars to be the last one because I hate Godzilla. There we go.
All right. Hey, can I see what you got behind you that you don't want anymore? I want that one.
Okay, the real question: who would win in a fight?
Move your enormous body. I want that one.
Nick Adams.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me right now?
Are you what?
Are you comparing a professional MMA fighter to
who's got real training? I mean, in the movies, but if you want to get technical, who's got MMA training?
I'm sorry. Your question is confusing the ever-loving everything.
Hang on.
Like
I heard.
I just heard Nick Adams versus Doc. Who do we like better? Who is better? What are you doing?
I mean, the only thing that matters. I mean, Don Fry wins in all categories. Coolness.
Yeah, he would pick Nick Adams. But are you saying
I mean,
who
he
do we
wins
like?
the mustache category, but not much else.
Hey, cool
He
hat.
has a samurai sword. Come on, man.
Swords.
Okay.
But I mean, Nick Adams did get all the ladies, so
I was gonna say he got the sweet ladies. So,
Nick Adams had that awesome speech in Monster Zero about about not giving a damn.
Yeah.
one of my favorite. Actually, this is not relevant, so I'm not going to tell. I was like, there's a great story that I heard personally from Takarada-san at dinner. Him talking about working with Nick Adams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We can
I think I've heard that too. Yeah.
But okay, so this is a Leslie question. If
You call him a horny boy.
If you have to choose between keeping the Millennium films or the MonsterVerse films, which one are you choosing?
Oh, that's an easy question.
This is another new question. Wait, why is
that's
this
hard, dude.
I'm kidding. Millennium films all day.
Millennium.
I'm sorry, you asked which one we prefer to keep out of the two? Millennium or
MonsterVerse and Millennium, yes.
Oh, MonsterVerse one.
Cody, do you have answers while Samson's thinking cap is on?
No, I just said Millennium all day.
Oh, okay.
Like, I love Godzilla vs. Kong, but like that whole we could not have all three of those films, and it wouldn't.
There's
it would
four.
suck, but if we didn't have the Millennium, okay, you're right, Kong. Kong is so good. No, still Millennium.
I've got a Leslie question here in a minute, but
oh
go ahead,
god,
everybody.
Aaron, what did you say?
He said Millennium.
Millennium all the way.
Yeah, I agree. Millennium. Eric, did you answer?
Millennium.
Or you start... Huh?
I'll stick with Millennium.
Okay, good.
That's
I guess before we get to our collectible question, Michael, what's your question?
One has to go away forever.
Oh, Jesus.
Here we go.
one Millennium film.
Hang on. One of these films has to go away forever. Shin or GMK?
Oh my god.
Wait, I didn't hear you because everybody was talking. You said
I said one of these films has to go
but you said
away
I want to hear the two options.
Oh, GMK or Shin Godzilla?
Shin.
That's what be.
GMK has to
Shin is an absolute masterpiece and a beautiful piece of the Godzilla history.
I'm sorry, I'm just a horrible person, I guess.
I would keep it over a lot of Godzilla films.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly torn. I love both those films. Oh
I'm sorry. I'm going. I'm just.
It's okay.
Boom.
Damn, it's really that hard for you guys?
Yes.
It's not. Shin. I wish it was gone. I don't know. I've never seen it from start to finish. There's too many board meetings.
Blasphemous.
There's not other monsters in it. I am a sucker
for
monster fights.
There's no more monsters for him to fight. I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. I want let them fight, and it's not in it. So. Yeah.
I mean, I'll make it easy for you. I can do without Shin all day long. Like,
you can.
if Shin never existed, I'd be okay. But as long as we get to keep GMK, I'm all right.
In my opinion, it kind of doesn't, since I still haven't seen it from start to finish.
Holy crap!
You guys are so lame.
We're just like brawling now. You just threw a massacre of a question into the
That's a
mix.
good question.
I am
Are we still friends? Does anybody still like me? I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have been part of this.
Oh, Red Luck.
I'm still keeping my bad. I mean, this bomb of a figure of him, I'm not going to get rid of just because I don't like
Especially
film,
after seeing Shin in theaters, even though it was subtitles and and like.
Oh man, I wish I did. There was a showing in my town, but
I wish I did too. I'm so pissed.
It was, it was awesome. It was gorgeous. It was, it does run on with the board meetings. I will get it. It does get kind of boring.
I thought those were hilarious. So I love
and the design, everything melts. That's right. It's never boring. There's always kind of like a comedic tone to all the board.
Yeah,
like, this is all what we're gonna do. Haha.
It's the same kind of subtle humor that the Japanese version of 62 has. That's why
logically, Shin Godzilla makes more sense because of how his design. He's radioactively burned to, albeit he's a reptilian / amphibian thing that's like transforming from scene to scene. So he as a monster makes sense, but it's boring.
I will say,
I got my
and
answer.
also off
I got my
topic.
answer. I got my answer
Alright.
finally. I'm keeping.
Lo-
I'm
I think-
keep.
Logically and personally,
I'm gonna have to redo my whole list now, but I'm keeping Shin. I'm keeping Shin.
You're
I'm
keeping
keeping
Shin?
That's the right
keeping
answer.
Damn right. Damn right.
So
I don't know the reason
I'm
why now.
there. He's dead.
Regrettably,
All right.
I would have
He's
to. I'd have to get rid of Shin.
What?
Loser.
Even
I
though
get it, I get it.
I love Shin, I really do. I love it. I've loved it since day one. But
No, it's hard. I get it, Eric.
I feel like GMK is more historically important to the Godzilla franchise than Shin.
See, I'm the exact
Shin
opposite.
I don't
has
know.
made-
Yeah,
Shin has
you
made
can make that
Toho
case.
a
I
crap
piece of
ton of
Godzilla
money.
history, especially for Americans.
Shin has
'cause-
made Toho a crap ton of money, but it doesn't necessarily contribute anything to the lore.
I hate you, but you're right.
I can
No,
see
you're-
where
you're
you're coming
out
from,
of
but I gotta
line.
disagree
You're out of
because
line.
Mine's
You're
coming
right.
in with the
I view it as
The fact
Japan's
that-
comeback with Godzilla. You know, they're not going to
Yeah.
continue with it per se, but
And that's
this
how I
was their
see it
big
too.
Monster
also-
versus doing their thing. This is our Godzilla now, and like it was a very powerful. Oh, everything about it. I love the
And-
marketing. I love how they hit it, and they were like, I love how they did the evolution. It wasn't a standard Godzilla. It was a weird. I love it, dude.
And culturally
it.
too, it was super important to Japan in ways that
Glad you
we
haven't
can't
done that.
understand.
well, that's
Mm.
exactly it, Aaron. Is that it's super important for Japan. Shin is that it's different for us here.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it like it does over there.
Yeah.
So I think I get it. I get the meaning for them, and I don't want to like discredit that or not think about it. And I get that, but oh my gosh,
It was
I don't
very
hate
important. I
Japan.
get it. It was
It's a good
a
question.
commentary on the Fukushima disaster.
Yep.
I get that.
Yep.
That is
Yep.
it is 100%. It is a political satire. I 1000% agree with that.
Yep.
But just talking about the lore of Godzilla, I don't think that Shin contributes all that much to the lore.
What
And
does
I-
GMK contribute though?
But I
It's
feel
an
like
it
does,
It's
though.
another
Yes.
tale. Like it's almost not canon. Like it's a completely different.
No, it's
tale
fairly
of
canon if you're
Godzilla.
talking about the dead souls of Nagasaki and
They also acknowledge that Godzilla
Not
exists
But that
in the past.
actually,
Hiroshima.
okay, no.
But-
Godzilla has never been powered by the literal souls of the dead.
But
It's
it's
been a message
such
of
a
nuclear destruction of those people. He's never been actually a supernatural, like almost.
Yeah, but it's
witchy force of
closer. It's
them.
more closely
Yeah,
tied
but
to
I
the
think it's just a
original
myth.
lore of the
I don't know if it's-
character
I don't know if it's actually
than
true
Shin
canon or if
is.
it's just a myth.
I don't see that, man. I am just. We're
I
not.
think my
gonna-
question was
I'll
gonna be
agree
that
to
if I-
disagree, and I love you, but you're so wrong.
I love you, but
I
also,
love you too, Cody. I love you too. You're a good dude. Okay, I got one more.
Adrian, am I making you
more.
super
I'm already
angry?
in
Am I making a lot of people really angry that I have this? But I like.
All right,
No,
one-
because my gigantic comes next
One more.
month.
Hit us.
I'm
hit
already
us,
in.
Michael.
I'm already in
Oh,
trouble. I'm
God,
already in trouble.
kidding.
I'm living up to the Ghidorah kaiju thing that Thomas made for me because I am the king of chaos.
Go ahead,
Apparently, right
Michael.
now.
In what sense?
Um,
Wait, what's going on?
So, Godzilla 2000. So technically,
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla 1999.
Godzilla Millennium.
One of these has to go away. Godzilla 1999, Godzilla Millennium,
Mm-hmm. Or
Gamera versus Iris.
Millennium. all
Gamera versus
Yeah.
Iris.
Gotta go.
Yeah, Millennium's got to go.
Why?
Here, I'll put it this way. I cannot believe that Iris and Millennium came out in the same year because one of them is so
No.
good and the other one's just.
It's not.
Is
It's
Millennium.
night and day. It's night and day. And we talked about this already. It's
Yeah.
night and day.
One of them's a
So that wasn't
kaiju
as,
tokusatsu
that wasn't as bad,
masterpiece.
guys. That wasn't as bad.
I don't know. Eric's kind of struggling up there.
I'm not.
I'm struggling
I'm
because
keeping Godzilla
because
Like,
Iris
Gamera-
is my least favorite film out of the Heisei.
Oh no,
Really?
that's
Yeah.
my
Oh
favorite.
yeah, G-Man for the win.
No, it's
The,
the,
the
best
Gamera trilogy is beautiful, and I will say it's a better movie. But when I sit down and I'm gonna watch a movie, if it was between those two, it's most likely going to be Godzilla 2000, especially.
It's just so much more fun, right?
It's just and again, like it's probably
the other one's more serious, is all be it.
You haven't seen it. You have no opinion on Gamera.
Just because the Gamera. I've seen enough. Just because I haven't seen the film from start to finish doesn't mean I know enough about it. It's very serious.
I saw Godzilla 2000 when I was 4 years old. I didn't watch Gamera until I was
so you have a nostalgia attachment to it, yeah.
Well, that's
I mean, 100%. And I get that. And I do too, Cody. It's really tough, but
I even opened with Gamera is a better movie, but like watchability to me, it's got to go with Godzilla.
I can respect that.
I just realized I actually have seen all these films, but it was through Rich Iso where I like watched it. Me and him watched them during some me and the Fresh Vinyl Live dude watched it through like his computer, and it was with some.
Are you just making it up to feel like you're
part of me and him.
And then my friend.
I mean, I don't remember it, but we did watch it from start to finish, and I had we both had berry juice while we were watching it, but I don't remember it as strongly. I just don't remember it having as much of a big impact on me because of, I guess, well, two reasons. Late at night, berry juice watching, and the fact that I've only seen them each one time. But I have seen them. I just don't remember. I remember that the gals from the first one are like, they're like hand puppets. Each close up on their heads, they're like, oh my god, hand puppets.
Yeah, they went through it, I'll admit that.
But still, I will argue that especially since we all love GMK, and if I remembered any better, that the Gamera films have the exact same feel as the GMK films. It's a much more serious tone.
Yeah, because it's the same direction.
I'm a very fun style kind of guy. I love very kooky stuff. I mean, I'm in love with Godzilla's Revenge, Megalon, and all that stuff. So Godzilla 2000 is a very fun film because there's very subtle humoristic styles to it. So I even though I'm not thinking the most logically, because I'm like, I saw that movie one time under the influence, and then Godzilla 2000 I've seen many times. Logically, I'm gonna go with the more fun film than the more serious film. Is my reply.
Adrian, did you choose?
Yeah, I did. I have to let Godzilla 2000 go as much as I love it. As much nostalgia as it has for me, I have to keep Iris.
Are you just going down the list, Michael?
Iris is such a beautiful film. I can't.
What Michael did you say?
I'd let Iris go in a heartbeat.
Wow.
Yeah, my boy.
Because Iris is not even my favorite film. I'd let Iris go in a heartbeat because Legion is my favorite film of that trilogy.
I was gonna say Legion is a better villain than Iris.
Legion's the best.
Yeah.
I remember growing up because my parents, when I didn't actually they didn't know what figures to buy me. They went to a comic shop. I owned like an original Bandai 6-inch Iris for a long time, just not knowing what it was. I was like, "What Godzilla film is this from? I don't even know what this is." And eventually,
I'm used to 3+ hour streams, guys. Like,
oh, dude, I am.
Me too.
I have.
Dude, are you kidding me, dude? I stream for like 6 hours plus on my Twitch channel all the time.
Our JDF memorial was 5 hours, so we're good.
Yeah, it was.
I
do have the last question for us tonight.
All right, Adrian, hit us.
So, of course, we're all collectors, obviously. So, favorite collectibles. What's your favorite collectible from this era, and what's the most sought after collectible in this era for you?
Sought after meaning ones we don't have yet.
Yes,
obviously.
Yes, obviously. Eric, you can go first since you're already setting up.
Well, you guys think about that.
You cheeky pig.
I'm gonna get my guys on the front here.
We saw him off to the side. You don't have to show him off any harder.
Don't be a hater.
Here's mine.
It's one of the highest regrets that I have to this day.
And I would say the hardest ones to get.
Yeah, it is.
The Mothra bear gun set. Oh my god.
Right here.
Yep.
Right here.
I've seen that.
Hey, is yours Eric? Is yours the glitter Ghidorah? Is yours the Rick with the glitter paint?
I just got standard.
Standard.
Right.
I thought the glitter was just useless. It didn't even look that good.
I've seen pictures of it, like in collector's hands. It doesn't. It's just like the 2019 Rodan 25 centimeter. You really can't see that.
The 2019 Rodan looks awful.
Oh yeah.
Unless you see it in hand, you can't really see the difference. It's not really that noticeable on camera. Like if somebody reviewed it, it's not. You're kind of like, Did it really have that big of an impact at getting to Rick? I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
So it has to be one our favorite collectible. So it's the Sakai 2002. Obviously, that's the appropriate choice because I don't.
Of course.
So can it be one that I don't have in hand, but I know I'm going to have in hand soon, which will be the gigantic spiral.
Spiral.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That was my
Sorry, everybody just said the gigantic spiral. Laughter! Huh? The gigantic spiral what?
GMK.
GMK.
The giant GMK.
Oh.
If I actually had to pick an actual grail from this era, I'm going to have to go with Eric's set because I would love to have that set.
Mm-hmm.
The FSL set.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
But I know the word grail is offensive to some people.
I don't get that. I say, screw you guys. I'll say grail.
All right, no, it's an inside joke.
It's an inside joke.
We'll tell you later.
So, as far as my favorite collectible, it's this for now until my gigantic GMK gets here. Oh my god, I can't wait. I can't wait.
That thing.
You got the spiral?
Yeah, I got to see that you did.
Did I not know this?
Clearly,
you was in the stream with me.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't think you grabbed it.
Yeah, I grabbed it.
I thought you were holding off. I thought you didn't have the cash.
The second AJ posted it.
Oh snap! Well, bravo, sir, bravo.
Having money must be nice.
It's not. It's not terrible.
What was it, like 7? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
700.
Like 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll probably be like 3.
That's literally what the gigantic shin was. So.
Well, we'll have to pay a shipping invoice. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Little under 1K probably total.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
But as far as sought after of what I don't have in my collection, honestly, it's nothing too crazy. It's the 25 centimeter Godzilla 2000. Actually, I really love that figure. I really love it. It looks absolutely incredible. I hate myself for not pulling the trigger on it back when it came out.
I had one for sale a few months ago, but
yes, so did I.
I know. I was.
Was it Rick though, with the open mouth and the boat?
It was with the boat.
Yeah, gotta have the boat.
Yep.
That was before I started making money. That's why I couldn't get it then.
Still got Orga for sale.
The only reason why that figure, I mean, I went after that one because the standard was the closed mouth, and I love a vicious open mouth Godzilla. So it wasn't even so much about the boat; it was more about having the open mouth accessory piece.
I guess if I just had to pick another random one, probably like a glow in the dark Marmot 2000, not the Howler, the other one, the closed mouth version.
Right, the 1999. The Howler is the 2001 or the Megaguirus
yeah.
version, and the regular one is the 1999.
Yeah, I'd love to have a glow in the dark, but those are freaking expensive. So
it's almost Desu Goji prices.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I'm so envious of Rich Ito. I think there was that set. There was like a lottery thing where it was the translucent Orga and the 2000.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was able to nab one of those. Pretty good stuff.
Well, Sam, since you're already talking, what's your answer?
Yeah.
I guess when am I not doing that? But okay.
True.
So
True.
I was just being mean to myself. You guys didn't have to contribute.
Love you too, buddy.
Yeah, I love me too. Thank you. No, I actually have something that, for reasons, that's why this is something that I've held as like one of my favorite collectible pieces. It's actually a set, and what it is it's the Bandai Toys Dream Project Tokyo SOS set, where you have the Mechagodzilla with the drill arm and the busted out eye, the Scar Godzilla with the fancy light up like this really
bright blue metallic
dorsal plate.
Yes.
And then the set also comes with these adorable little Barbie style, like I'm so angry. They still have their tape. Oh god, they have like cobwebs too. It still has its tape. Why is it so hard to see? Because there's a light.
Hold on, I got you, Samson. Give me a second.
So They still haven't been opened. Tape is on the bottom and top, but a little rubber band is supposed to go around them. Somehow got disattached, and one of them is bouncing around. It's kind of weird. I'm really glad that when I was a kid and I got this, I was like, this is a Barbie doll, so I'll give this to my sister and she'll just do whatever. But I'm really glad that I held on to these because they're how is it not focusing? I'm glad that I held on to these because they're unique to the set. The Tokyo SOS dolls. But the specific reason why this set is important to me is specifically because of the Mechagodzilla that comes with the set. With my super OCD anal mind that I have. All right. His drill arm. There's many times we've seen the drill-handed Mechagodzilla, whether it be in Bandai or X Plus form. He did not have this until after his eyeball got busted out from Godzilla shooting him in the face with his atomic breath. There are other figures out there, 6-inch and 9-inch, where both eyes are intact and he has the drill arm. Doesn't make sense because that didn't ever happen in the film. He never used his drill hand until after he got his eyeball busted out. And when I was a kid, I was aware of this. And when I knew this set existed, I was like hell-bent on finding it because I was like, it only makes sense to get it this way since Mechagodzilla's eye and the drill hand coincide with each other with it being busted out. So that is a little OCD fact there where other figures with the drill hand and both eyes intact, they don't make sense because it never happened like that in the film. So that's my special little story about those guys there. They have X Plus versions of it too. Wait, which one is that right in front of you, Adrian?
The 2003 Kaiju.
Oh, it's regular hand. He doesn't have the drill hands. Okay.
No, his drill hand is downstairs.
Oh, but he has both eyes intact still?
Yeah.
So see, that doesn't make sense because it doesn't ever happen in the film that way.
Aaron?
He goes, okay.
So I used to have so
you're a
many
true
more.
fucking nerd.
They get skipped.
Kind of.
Oh, you can go first. I don't care.
I mean, I don't care. I don't know.
I didn't know.
You clearly do, or you wouldn't have said anything.
Here, I'm just trying to make sure everyone goes in order, Sam. So I'm trying to keep some order in this damn.
I think we were going in a circle. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Go crazy.
No, you. Since we've been
You are
going,
next. You're underneath
I'm
me.
not going to
It's
say
your
a
turn.
damn word until you talk.
I am not going to let that happen until you talk. Adrian, you're in control. You flip the coin and give us an answer.
All right. So, Kiru, or the Godzilla Kiru, 2002. Yuji Sakai, or no. Yeah. Sakai?
Yeah, it's Yuji Sakai.
Yuji Sakai.
Yeah. This was the first figure that X Plus wise, that I bought brand new. Before this, I had like 4 or 5. I had a Gigantic 62. No, I'm sorry. The Gigantic 99. And the prototype version. And I bought them all used. I didn't know how to buy them new. And I was like, you know what? I need to, this is before I knew about Awesome Collector and stuff. I was like, I need to get it. So I think I went through Awesome Collector and I finally bought it and I thought I was just so cool. I was like, I got my figure from Japan. But yeah, it's such a beautiful suit. I love how yellow everything is on him. Like you can tell with this crappy webcam how yellow the teeth.
Oh, clearly.
It's a gorgeous figure. It's a standard.
It is.
I was a broke boy at the time.
I'm glad you ended up not selling it.
Yeah.
This is this and the bronze train. I have it for sale right now, but it's about to be taken off. This and the bronze biter, one of the ones that's just kind of like, I think I'll always keep them.
You'll regret it, dude. That is a very hard figure to find.
And then like the Ghidorah behind me, his wings are glued. That's kind of why I can't really ship them anywhere, but I think they're going to be lifers. Yeah, the only figure I really want for the Millennium is the 99 Gigantic. I sold it like years back, and I want it back. I want the Rick.
That's the maquette style version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with the
the small boy.
translucent orange. Yeah.
Yeah. He's only like.
Yeah.
He almost fits in with like a 40 centimeter line, but the detail's so awesome.
He is off. It's like he's not quite gigantic, but he's not quite 30.
But he's also very hunched over, and he's so long. When I had my old style shelves, I had like 3 or 4 figures from where his legs were to where his tail ended, like it strung behind him. It was it had like a 20-inch tail or something. It was very, very
ridiculous.
Long. Yeah,
Wow.
Such a great figure. Like,
I love that sculpt. I just always thought it was a weird one to put in that series because everyone
Yeah, it
else was
was.
50 centimeter.
Yeah, I don't know why they did the GMK like that too, but
Yeah, it did.
Oh yeah.
It's as if they took the maquette and made it stylized, which the maquette's already stylized in general. So how can you stylize something any harder? But they did.
It's like that.
well, it was also the first two Gigantics they ever made, so it might have been a case. Or no, wait, wasn't the 50 for the first?
No, the
Was
it
62
GMK?
was the first. No, was it? Was it GMK?
No, I'm pretty sure it was
GMK was the first.
in '99.
GMK
and then
Okay, yeah,
GMK was the
first.
very first gigantic, and it was so
Yeah.
weird and stylized. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is an interesting
Yeah.
new line that we're getting of stylized super figures, but it happened.
Yeah, but then after those two, they bumped the size up, which I'm cool with.
Yeah.
I mean,
Careful,
I
Eric.
feel like we're long overdue
Careful.
for a proper Godzilla 2000 gigantic again.
We are.
Yeah,
are.
it's such
I
a
mean-
popular design.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, we
the
might
actual
see
legit,
them
like,
adapt the
screen accurate?
KFC,
The suit one,
the
yeah.
vinyl at some point.
Mhm.
I mean, even if they just blow up the 25 centimeter, I'd be more than happy with that.
I'll be
It's
ecstatic.
so
That'd be
good.
ideal, to be honest. I would want
I mean,
them-
honestly, the pose with Adrian's, that's the best. I prefer the 30 centimeter over the 25 centimeter, the other 30 centimeter. It's such a broad and just, it's a powerful stance. Yeah,
I
no, I
mean,
definitely prefer
yeah, I mean, it's a
Adrian's.
powerful stance, but for screen accuracy, the 25 centimeter looks the best.
I don't
get it.
care.
I mean,
I
it's
like
not
that.
much different than this one. His hands are a little closer to his body on the 30. I used to have the 30.
It's the closed mouth and the way his hands are. It's just
Well, this
it's
thing
very-
can have a closed mouth. It's just that I don't have it on him. I like to open a lot more.
Now, yeah, I know what Cody's saying because before I got this in hand, I used to poo-poo this one, but yeah, the stance is just gorgeous.
Well, Adrian, I specifically love yours. I didn't know that version of this figure existed, especially with the articulated mouth. I didn't know there was a version of that actually where the mouth can open and close, kind of like the
Oh, I didn't
big
know it was
Biollante.
articulated.
I didn't
Yeah,
know it was
like the
articulated.
Biollante back here that opens and closes. That thing has
Yeah,
an
it's
articulated
articulated.
mouth.
I had one told it.
And the orange dorsal plates. It was very like of Kim's shirt. It was very reminiscent of that. I kind of.
It's
It's the poster version.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron, I guess, what's your answer? What you got?
All right, I'll keep it short because we've been,
Streaming for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Almost 4. You guys want to go to 4 hours? It's fine.
We're almost 3.5. Why not?
I think I'm good. But
There's nothing
so
wrong
I used
with
to have a
it.
lot more Millennium stuff. I sold a bunch of my stuff and kept like none of it. But I did get this new one, the SH Monster Arts Final Wars Godzilla. I keep him in
Oh.
this swimming pose.
Cool.
Oh, is that something that you have, or did it come with that?
No, this is something I have. This is a
Oh, okay.
separate plastic. What's
Riser.
it called? Yeah, acrylic riser.
A display crib or whatever you call.
Yeah, I just put it upside down.
Nice.
And that's all the Millennium figures I have. I mean, the
about-
only other collectibles I have are the DVDs, which are pretty special to me. Oh,
Do we have the
I got
exact same DVD collection?
I think we do. Because
Now
I have
we
the
do.
ones with the little banners on top. Yeah, those ones.
Oh yeah.
Final
These
Wars
are special
Circuit.
to me because I got them for Christmas.
Oh,
I can't. Well, except for the one that I stole from Blockbuster, I can't really tell you where I got the other ones from.
Criminal.
but all right. And what about Salt After, Aaron?
Yeah.
Oh, sought after. I already answered that. The Spiral GMK, the gigantic one. 50
And you have that
centimeter.
one ordered, right?
Oh yeah, I ordered it
Okay.
right away.
Okay.
So is it really sought after? Because you're gonna get it.
I'm seeking it because
Whoa.
that's.
Oh wait, I didn't get a chance to say sought after. I said what I loved a lot.
Oh yeah.
Again, I'm piggybacking. It's got to be what you got there, Eric, because those are so hard to find. All of them. I don't have the Godzilla, the Mothra, Baragon set, or Ghidorah. And whenever you do see them online, oh boy.
I just posted them in the group chat.
I know you did, but I'm
Morning.
poor as all be it. I'm focusing on
I didn't
Adrian.
check
I'm not sharing it here because I don't want anybody else to find it. But me and you know about the thing that I'm keeping an eye on right now.
I know. But I guess that wraps it up,
Good luck.
guys.
What about Michael? Did he not? Oh, he did. He said.
Yeah,
his,
Michael went.
You went. Yeah, he went first.
But I guess before we close out the show, do y'all have any closing thoughts?
Let's go.
Millennium
for 30
era
more minutes.
is the tits. and it's wonderful.
Mhm.
You guys
It's
should.
amazing.
Big ol' honk.
It is an acquired taste. How about
It's a
that?
very controversial era because there's a lot of love and hate involved with it, for sure.
Oh, Mark.
Mark, come on, man.
Mark, what up?
Oh, dude, right at the
Hey,
end.
Mark.
Hey,
Welcome
Mark.
in, and also bye.
Yeah, you're at the very end of over 3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's
God.
cake.
Well, Eric, I think you have an announcement for your show coming up. If you want to plug that real
Oh.
quick.
Okay. Last week, on one of my reviews and the one that's currently in making right now, I kind of dropped a little teaser in there, but I can now see you guys that on December 31st, New Year's Eve, 5:00 Central Time, I am doing my first live show on the Y2Kaiju channel. I have a group of guys set up it's going to be wonderful. I cannot wait. So what we're going to do is that we're going to do a retrospect of this last year. We're going to talk about all the crazy, awesome news that we were told, from the new Godzilla movie to the new Gamera anime to Godzilla coming back into video games, all that kind of stuff.
What?
And then we're also going to talk about the collector side and some of the stuff that was released this year, the stuff that's coming up. What are you looking forward to? What's your top acquisitions for the year? And it'll be a nice segue too for maybe talking about figure of the year and stuff like that. So, but yeah, December 31st, 5:00 Central Time, my first live stream.
Nice, man. Hell yeah.
Sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
I'll be sure not to be there.
I know.
I'll be sure to stream my own thing at the exact same time.
I mean, to be fair, there was triple streams tonight. So there was us.
There was.
Collect
It
All
was.
Monsters,
Pretty crazy.
Oh yeah.
And then
Kaiju Live.
Kaiju Live.
Yeah.
And we went longer than them all, baby.
I almost bailed on you guys and just watched the other stuff, but
we have incredible stamina.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, come on.
Oh gosh.
And of course, y'all know January 1st at 7 p.m. Central Time, we're going to be starting the pre-show for the Figure of the Year discussion.
Yes.
I just feel it's
Cannot wait.
this year.
66, baby, all day long.
Do you want to say when the voting start? When does the voting actually start, Adrian?
I want to say that the second, because that shows on the Sunday,
right
so we're
after
gonna start we'll start the polls on the second.
Okay.
But I guess if we don't have anything else, I guess we'll go on and close it out. And thank you everybody for hanging on and watching with us. Even though we almost hit Avenger level streaming tonight.
Yeah.
Not quite, but we
Snyder
almost
cut.
made it.
I don't see what's wrong with that. I don't know why we're saying this is a bad thing.
We
Great.
went
It's not.
It's
We
not.
had a lot of good conversation, a lot of good discussion and stuff like that. So I love this kind of stuff. It's just, it's great to hear everybody's opinions and stuff like that. And like we always say, everybody's opinions here, they count. It doesn't matter if you like them or dislike them. It doesn't matter. We just want to hear it. So,
Yep.
Are we sure?
Except when your opinion's wrong, then it's not much. So.
no opinions wrong.
I know. Of
No
course I
opinion's
do. Kind of.
So,
Huh? I'm
except for
not.
this guys.
And again, we do want to thank Kim, Kaiju Kim, for joining us
Yes.
tonight as well.
Yes.
Make sure you check her whole live stream tomorrow as well. Okay.
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'll be on.
everyone.
We'll be on there. I'll be on stream with her tomorrow, trying to raise some money for Toys for Tots.
Tots.
We have a goal of $800 with a stretch goal of $1,000. So it's going to be me, Jay Key from Toku Toy Town. AJ is going to be there. My friend Nathan is going to be there. Donnie's going to be there. Matt from Monstrosities is going to be there. It's just going to be a lot of people trying to just having a bunch of fun, trying to raise some money for a good cause.
Cool.
That's amazing.
All right, Kaiju family. You have a great night.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy
everybody.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thanks a lot, y'all. Sayonara.